Abusafo mama kwa baba okay 101.7 FM. Your live ewo radio eso. Ya from Afia Pokuaa Vim lady. Enyumre ye toa eye COVID-19 no nsensem aba. And it's finally omampani ayi lockdown no e de free Ghana for so enti obi abetimi e de akoniaba ya wo bia ensi no ekwan politifo eni sojafo edu ombegu kwa mu nyina omampani say wa mo monitor situation ne pa ye yi obi a edno efronum asidan koma production team no yera Isaac also diomi and ye leader and na yera kojo odamiado kojo Hansen and ye sound engineer no e ha frema any Joyce and ye social media ni nyina edman ya tena say osofo abede kira won na hwe ye nkita wode hu nsam so yera pious and amagide e wo studio ha say a kire onuaba ma aba be ka ne ho na ye de komo no ahyehye so ni nyina ne COVID-19 no ene ho nsam e ba ye de ye den ana omampani eyi lockdown every ho cause nkofo bebe ni omampani enya adwene say cases mo makokodu eye over 1,000 mum ene eyi lockdown every ho ana adenti ene banisa patro utie so follow your live e wo Facebook okay 101.7 FM and our Facebook YouTube so okay 101.7 FM Twitter so okay 101.7 FM and our Instagram at okay 101.7 FM. Now, for our question, be ma honorable. Nani nyina so onyi ano e mabeka say Ghana. Your 1 billion from IMF. Says kano ebeba. Ye de be yaduma. O man penny the $100 million at onum. And na COVID-19 fan na ye boy no so nkofo diska ko gum. That's why media ya boss or the $100 million $100,000 akwa ko gum. Na says kani nyina ano nkunta ben ana ban oye. Enya sa said the Euro Pious de ye ni mo aban no na chese wan hwa e wose ye kwaye nkita odie ene transparency accountability bebam ntina ye ni abresa no ye fa Afia Pokuaa deputy minister e wa ase honorable anopen ye ma good evening anwumre yi we de chese good evening
me nuaba
honorable ho ye de
na me adom ne mo paibo
e won say we take precaution to the next level mask no na wa hye no
ne omampanyin e kase ye no yenyina yembo yomodi na yendis
yenye
nuaba pe mask ne bi na oso
me will be media hye ase
pashe
me drew inside and mayi say ho ye de
na me adom
na o ministry honum so nyina bibia akoye
na me adom yesum yeman kakanka
ona bo yemu sa e de na o man pani hu ya lockdown wa yi no
yominaba midasi ne de kan ye data na o man pani hu ye ye science na o man pani hu ye ene mfutra efree omo amabin akwadre ewo public health ene yapomode nhihye asema omode tudwa ena o man pani agina so obekaya beye 3 weeks ago ena o man pani eye ne se wodi restrictions be able to the greater Accra and then the greater Kumasi areas. So, na okan se ye wo botae mienu nti a ye tu sa anamon no ne dikane ne se ye pese yenya akwanya na ye nuanom a wo mu etu kwan ba ye eni wo mu contact a wo ma make no ye pese ye nhwehwe wo mu kira kwan na ye testi wo mu na yempese yebeko asimesi bi fie na contact tracers no bedru ho no na womusi o sisia ena we free fie na woko na damfo kwame fie na ebedi na chi akokwa me fie no yesi o kwame yeresi oni kwame nyina sisia no mu pe omusi omukọ ho aba ye ne sa ende nipa na yehwehwe mu kira kwan se yebe testi wo mu no ebe ye din se yebetumi anya wo mu attesti wo mu and to facilitate enhanced testing ena ye objective ba ku bi ntira ye di lockdown no eba ye
lockdown
no
the enti amode ba ye to facilitate enhanced contact tracing
yes ne di kind no
okay
the second one is say it is to limit the spread and this relates directly to the enhanced contact tracing because say your corner your kohwehwe say menuaba vim owobia na yebetumi ayi no efre nipa dom no mu say ontumi emfa ensan obi fufu
okay
enu ena ye egyina so mienu ntira ye di lockdown no buy.
Okay.
Now lockdown no se bio obi anka ne da se lockdown no ye lockdown because ye COVID-19 ne duro no there be and na say ye lockdown say within the time no na ye nya COVID-19 no ne duro and na say vaccine ya ye de wa unya ye reni bi there be so there were clear objectives.
Okay.
Nienti ye lockdown no. Why it is important that we understand that one in say after you say to me beside who say adenti na lockdown ye lifty. Which means say obe beside who say na anyabia objectives na mo set here no. Munsa kana. Because vim no kra omo say enye lockdown kwa na ye kwan a yetumi fa so a ye kutia yare boni COVID-19 no. Lockdown no one of the ways enya nunkua na ye kwan etumi fa so.
Okay.
Enti no wo se obi sa ho se na lockdown ya me ba be yi de enti na me ye lockdown no. Na number 2 ube yi lockdown everywhere. Ube bi sa ho se mfaso a anka anase the objective na me wo enunti na me di lockdown no ba ye no. Minsa eka sa objective na na. In our view no lockdown no etumi ma yen enya nipa 86,000 as of yesterday. Etumi hwehwe omo kira kwan. Etumi ma ye kwan say etumi testing nipa 68,591. Making that figure making Ghana omanya in the whole of Africa, 54 countries in Africa. Omanya what testy per capita.
Okay.
Ghana. We have tested more per capita than any country in Africa.
South Africa lead.
South Africa is leading if you look at the nominal figures. Say Owoma tested 90,000. Yensuya tested going to 70,000. And then say if you add today, mu cover 100,000. If you check that against the population, the almost 60 million population of South Africa. Now, would the young tester ya tested almost 70,000. Would the 2 years ye 30 million no per capita no ya try. So the nominal figures, yes, they may have tested more numbers, more than 70,000. But if you discount it with respect to their population, and nune ye per capita testing na ye testi chen womu. Okay. And nuntina in the first place no, we are confident say. Sa Americana ye pese ye tu endi yare nechi no. Ye tu Americano edi yare nechi. Now this is what the science is saying. 68,000 and minyaba enye bosumika kasa wo. 68,591 na ya testi womo no. Only 1.5%. A year 1,042 and are tested positive. That figure no, it must I will say to nyumbi. If you are an analyst, if you understand public health, 1.5% or 0% or 1% or 10% or 20% or 30% or 50%, those figures no, enye figure keke. Enyumbi na figure no too, also utie nyum no.
Which is
that near ye can say community spread and the rate of infestation no, low. That is what it means, 1.5%.
Okay.
Now, number 2, out of that 1,042 now, are tested positive no crampo no. The vast majority, over 90% of that figure, no, so no, their symptoms are mild to moderate.
Okay.
That figure, that statistics must also mean something to Ubia or person Oji Inquechiri.
Say almost symptoms no.
Between mild and moderate.
I said symptoms that has nothing to do with management of it. Your mommy immune system.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is about.
Obi,
so it must tell you, say, on their own immune systems, we are able to fight the virus.
Okay.
So the same thing I'm saying is what you are saying. That's what exactly the science is telling you.
Okay.
out of the 1,042 now are tested positive, no? 9 ena mufrimu. Our condolences to their families. Name mumunso no. I was say with say the vast majority of that 9 also no. Now womu were underlying health conditions. That must also say something to you. And again, no, over 90% of womu ya tested womu positive. No. In fact, even before I get the 99 out of the 1,042 no. You fully recovered, testing negative 2 times consistently. Fully recovered, discharged in their home.
Okay. More drew answer no more recovered.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, the vast majority of omu ewo under all forms of management. A be on their own steam, a be with added medication and so on and so forth. The vast majority, over 90% of Omua say they are in isolation or in treatment. You know. They are responding to treatment. And nuntina, ukomu say ya, beye 0.00 something percent are in critical conditions and they are on ventilators, for instance. Udi tutu, you have to do comparative analysis. Now udi tutu obi mansu di hu baku. Because you cannot go and import a group think or say, oh, say na omuye no ewo Italy. And I say na omuye no ewo America. And tisana misu meye no Ghana. There be every country must have or say we test it for no. Again, our scientists in University of Ghana, very, very, very profound. Ome to me a sequence the genomes of the COVID-19 are instructive. It just say we are able to follow the dynamism of Yariana. We are able to follow the dynamism of COVID-19.
Not necessarily. So when the genome, not just say you're able to follow it. It means that what's here, Abuana say.
Absolutely. What's here, say who follow the dynamism, no.
But whether or not what here say no can result in say obey follow the treatment is another thing.
No, you know why it is important? It is important if you want to determine say
how to deal with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Say, hey, me by need no. Is it different from Mimi no? Is it different from where no? Is it different from where no? If you are not, if the say science no actually will say where are different, where are different, the management strategy will be different. But say one say adienu ni nyina ekwa akoye pe. Mimi wo ena obisu wa. It also suggests something to you in the science say adi the management strategy should be different. And if the president says say the data and the science is leading him into the next lines of action, Udika no krena wo hono no. And the president ehun say 1, the spread is limited. Yes. 1.5% of the total numbers tested. Limited. It is. President Sahun say, and we have to be grateful for these favors. Say, yen infestation, no. The vast majority of the people who are infested, they are on their own able to fight it. Of the people, they are on their own. They are able to fight it. Una ubisa me say yama, of course people have been giving medication, but abroche omo ewu bebre no, it doesn't mean say yama omo medications o. They are giving them medications, but what is fundamentally different from yen dey say nyame aboa yen ama yan kasa nso no your immune system no ejina na so. But why all of this is important is that for any public policy, no, there has to be cost implications. There has to be opportunity cost. So you have to understand bibia uye biano na udi tutu bibia anamon bia wopese wuto no ebiom no lockdown no. So I have said clearly to you, sir, in our view the objectives of the lockdown have been met. We wanted to develop a data to guide us. Vim anka omampenyin ebaye no beka say oh within the lockdown no yentumi anya nkrofo no bebre and test omo. I am sure said the strategy going forward would have been different. So to me can say oh we didn't get ebia yenyabe 20,000 people and I said 10,000. I feel na ye last week omampenyin ene ye kasa no waka say he needed more data until no yensan ye data ni be test ni be nka ho. So the man was waiting for the data. After data number, it will be a beya nwanwa kakra say at a time where yenya and tested 86,000 people or 68,000 people. Ayenim in Accra today in Accra. We can tell you, even in Accra, where yareno edosun ewo. Now the omampenyinu enim. Now he sees a bigger picture, he sees a clearer picture. I think that sebi ebeye nwanwa say obi be catch me say the position that or the strategy that we took when we had no idea what the picture was. After 3 months, Abra, now a clearer picture has come now. That same strategy should be enrolled. And you are not a serious analyst.
Lifting of the lockdown nenye time nenye the best.
Yeah, inyaba the kama menchia one wapamfo ewo adwumaso a mudi boa o my Ghana kanko na memfa enchia kese ma atiefo a wagemmre etie yen ebihwe yen wo social media ewo echichi ene benche yen nyina nwumre mechia obibiara minua nyame anim nokure ni enemera hopa free emra omampenyi akufuado enra wodi betu dwase partial lockdown wa enche ye kura be na wotwe miensani ye de to enkran ne nimpatamu kumase ne nimpatamu ene kaswa ne nimpatamu we ye free ho no mi yem hyeme e ma ne bo mabre ho
ye de to ho no
oba bontin se we ye free ho no
okay
we left it a lockdown but me re ho na ene me ra ho more because mitie nchirichirimu na free aban akasa mafo ho eba na mehwe inkontumpo pa aban we mpenyufo etwa kire Ghana for because of their selfish parochial political interests na me ra ho afia senka minisu te sepoa kana mesu ama me maiga nipa nkwa ene yeka ho asem yeka yare a wiase afa na nyina yehu bi mpenyin sem dan ti afa no novel coronavirus yare a enima koda enim penyin enim NDC ni nim MPP ni nim sikani ni yani yare a ni sunu ne ban kura na fei ena scientist eguso esua ho ade yare a ene amamaya hodwa kesia omotumpo akọ omanim chen Ghana bebere ene abringi omo to their knees. Today Spain, Italy, France, US, UK are all on their knees because of Ayarewe. Na Ghana hadie yedi di agro. Yedi nipa nkwa mampenye Kufuado di nipa nkwa eto chacha because of politics inti.
Se adena politics.
Me explaini ama wati ase na etiefo nyina ati ase ase. Partial lockdown no mampenye Kufuado ye free ho no. it is not based on science.
Data
it is not based on
data.
It is not based on science. It is not based on data. It is only based on one thing. Yenyi lockdown in free. Na Jimen's and Electoral Commission for intimate.
I didn't into my evidence.
I will come there. If we want to see that is the reason. And your politics and not science. Sure, minuaba. A dear Botayana ne see a nisun tia or Mampenye Kufuado at the partial lockdown by.
Say Pio such him.
Ninchire Munu Yano cre.
Oh,
so what's here? Yes. Oh, say me kaba. If you're not to was here, you know the way I am. Me kasakwa. O Mampenye address no yeah speech that who.
First one.
No. Address no, they announced a partial lockdown.
Okay.
On the 27th of March.
Okay.
My producer and Google Mouse is here. And the anya pious ni kojo upon kromana. And they what taking this reckless decision interrogating no. Omo be inventing on one kasa reasons. The speech is there.
Okay.
Baby and you man penika say me partial lockdown their collected data. Or your deputy minister for information or say womua. Say raising tea or man penika say or partial lockdown say or they collected data on kind one Jeremy. It is not there.
One kind of salmon.
Oh, what they say mekaba. Only kojo upon krumenya. Almost the reason for the partial lockdown they say the beji data near who your infection rate.
Okay.
Me what? Near who your infection rate.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yes, sana okay.
It's not true.
To control the spread.
Because
you didn't lie. I didn't lie about you. So.
But I mean, my two reasons.
Also reasons here.
Also to control the spread. And to identify, to do enhanced contact tracing.
In fact, it was not even to control the spread, but I mean, you saw the exact words. This is the quotation.
Okay.
Quote. I say, prevailing circumstances mean that, this is President Kufuor addressing the country on 27th of March.
Okay.
Prevailing circumstances mean that stricter measures have to be put in place to contain and halt and halt the spread of the virus within our country, especially in Accra, Temakaswa, and Kumasi, which have been identified by the Ghana Health Service as a hotspots of the infections.
Okay.
Because me pacho, what okasem, what you for chairman. So because of person halt to bibia,
I didn't know but say Gina.
Inti se samreno na yare no nipa dodo enye bi ye oha. O mampanyin say me the partial lockdown oba. Se na be ya say yare na be kosoro kra baby be du de be gina ho. Ye be chi yare na gina ho. Na enye sa. Otaye no. Ye be chi yare na gina ho. Ni am making sure say ente. But o mra o mampanyin ka sa asem na yare ni nipa dodo say na enye bi wo Ghana. 27th of March. Or the partial lockdown by our man reason way. Then he parado say na yare ni bi. 137 people.
137 people.
Yes.
Okay.
In 4 regions. Nipa say na hwere omonkwa 4. So 137 people in 4 regions. Nipa hwere omonkwa 4. Minu ya wutie me. Ye nyina ye Ghana for we anya politics ase. Let's apply common sense here. Yeah, the partial lockdown wa base ya de be chi yare agina ho. But I see any so no. Tie na bisa ho say 137 cases are na 4 regions. And na nipa na ya wu no. Yetimi
achi yare na agina ho ana.
No kwasem ne se mprempin aye ka sei. Afa kura na yare no eturu mika kese. Na esan nipa bebiri. Afia no kwasem ne se situation ani e wom 27th March ye de partial lockdown ba and ye situation ye far worse. 10 times worse. Because yare na trumika from 137 to 1042.
But we see President Party say
meba NC
maybe o mo de contract tracing no see
debi meba ni nyina ye nkuntumpu because MPP for no kre ni o manum. I mean chechim na me nyintro no one by one Ghana for ntiase. A free 137 to 1042. And no you're halting of the spread of the virus.
So am I a contact tracing every year?
There be me say. So we free nipa 137 enya yare. Now we say with the partial lockdown or bad ababe halt yare and spread. Now in 21 days the partial lockdown e no. A move free 137. E to dey be a 1 day yetiminya positive cases 193, 170. And then 1042 and no wa to yare
but some be no omo Ghana Health Service data na president ye e wo no
enya no kre ya me ba ho nyina nti nyanto kwase
nyina kwakosi
de na esi
baby contact
in the latest statement no afia ose omugusu ye contact tracing even testing kra na ho backlog it na me say asem no nyanto kwase e ho backlog egu okra 18,000 ye nyanwie nti de data na esi
in addition to the tested that
yes who de nyanto kwase
Debbie Sami oka say testing no say backlog no and we out of over 60,000 people now omaji omo sample dada no
yes sir who de nyanto kwase kakra bi ma be hu baby ameko
okay.
The first point I want to establish is in terms of positive cases. Yentumi hoto your positive cases. Rather, we are seeing an 800-900% increment in positive cases. If you say so, we have positive cases and nipa do we yare ni bia across through over 800%.
Okay.
And when you're halting, that's number one. Yare na free 4 regions, do 10 regions. And when you're halting, it's just a yare no krana fina etre efa Ghana nyina from 4 regions to 10 regions. Yare na akum nipa and 9. Asa 3 weeks ago a partial lockdown nearby. And akum nipa nkono. Enti botaya na esi eni so say ye de partial lockdown wo ba. Near there are 2 things. Halt the spread of the virus on ye achieve we have not halted the spread. It is still spreading this time around at an astronomical, geometrical rates. Number 2, but
astronomical rate.
Astronomical because in only 3 weeks, we 137 to 2042, making Ghana the country or more coronavirus cases in West Africa.
Okay.
The whole of West Africa. Ghana and more coronavirus cases.
Is it because they are testing and maybe another countries testing?
So positive cases are kosoro. Regions on every 4 are 10. A one every 4 are 9. Common sense. You have not halted the spread and you have not contained it because it is still rising.
Okay.
Number 2.
I don't know.
I think this one no. I will humbly plead this because people are listening. He has had a submission. Let me also make my
8 years 15
no, but Mark, me baby no. No, it is not fair. Allow me one man ample time. I'm in a submission. So my make us 3 minutes now. So and what you should have done is that. You should have divided your time. He has his time, you goes, and I come and have my time. But when I'm on making my submission, you want to cut me. Nobody can follow Adia. It is not fair.
Your point.
Abayemu amount for opposition. So that is the first point. Secondly, Abayene said you know you lockdown. Reasons not more inventing. Almost my testing. 86,000 people. Because if you are testing 86,000 people, 2 of us.
Okay.
2 of us.
Tested over 60,000.
Also, what are you talking about? Say testing over 86,000. President Ankasa say, your contact tracing of about 86,000 people. More results for 69,000 and something. Aka results for about 18,000. And yes, I'm a president Aka. Honorable Pius Ajide Kasa was say, also my testing nipa 86,000 people.
No,
what did you say?
If you keep misquoting me, I will be forced to enter. You make your point.
No, what did you say? Pius.
One
Kasa ma testing nipa 86,000 people.
There be Pius who can 86,000.
I even said I said almost 70,000. What is about 70,000? It is because I was making reference to the 68,000 a year almost. Okay. So I don't see where it's coming from.
Facebook.
What is this?
Message if we hear Facebook, so more for streaming in question.
No more okay.
But media the 70,000 okra me use this.
Okay.
Oboa omon testing nipa 70,000.
You taking it?
What's the contact tracing?
Let me but it's the same person we contact. What's test?
Okay, yes. What is the truth?
Masa.
What is the truth?
Omon testing nipa you see. Ma conducted 70,000 tests. And then ma testing nipa 70,000 and yepe. Because nipa ba kon yetimi testing in pleno.
Okay.
And then kodo upon chroma on Asempa FM. Ye de born on Ojitu.
Okay.
time aban ye mandatory quarantine no. O quarantine nipa 1,030. Ubekaya. Ena 10 bi beka o man ye 1,040.
Yeah.
Omo aye omo mandatory quarantine ye test omo prino.
Ebi kwa omo ye no miensa.
Enti sa test no na wo kabo mu a unya figure na aban de ma no. Enye nipa ya test yo. Says kojo upon chroma on ecosystem on Asempa FM. Ministers me no monu wasem contradiction because mon kanokre. Nipa nansi 193 people be almost test ye ni asan so aye me. In fact, testing of COVID-19 cases be brewa a repetitive.
Yes.
What am I say?
Yes.
And the fact say why 70,000 tests. Nchire say what testing nipa 70,000. Munya san kontopo na mudi chire Ghana for no. ABM Ghana you need even the capacity to do 86,000 tests or the 70,000 tests no more.
Also.
See me. Ghana you have 2 main testing centers.
Yes.
Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research, the capacity to conduct tests. Do obetimi aye pa in a day 200.
Okay.
And umpono omon reche omon optimum capacity da omon testi 200 ne da
in a day.
Yes. Omo ye interview o Good Morning Ghana omo ankasa ne kan. No Gucci for capacity 1,000 tests per day. Omo ahoden no. And also omon reche 1,000 per day ne da since yare ba Ghana.
No Gucci for.
Yes.
Omo an kan.
Yes. So assuming without admitting. Say impoma reach 1,000 or maximum capacity. KCCR reach 200 or maximum capacity. It means that per day no, your 2 main centers have the capacity to do 1,200 tests. And yeah, lockdown we 21 days. Multiply 21 days by their maximum capacity. Ubenya 36,000.
But is it possible?
No, ubenya 25,200. Multiply by 30 days, ubenya 36,000. So, with 2 centers are one upon, ain't mean 70,000 or 86,000.
Just a lab be anywhere, other labs now.
Or more identify new labs be. But our labs in the capacity is very small. Say enumpono, and in fact, the information I'm getting from some of our health experts, and they say, Omunyan started feeding those figures into our test results of would declare.
Okay.
But couldn't go for your because of the account. The capacity of those test centers amount in 21 days, 86,000 or 70,000 are where reviews are figure. And I am challenging government. We are Kasama by Deputy Minister Mua. Opa Oma the list of testing centers now you check your capacity near multiply by 21 days. You be 86,000 or the figure now was another about 70,000. So they are giving people a false sense of security.
A false sense of security.
Mobwa. So
how does that become a political issue? Lockdown
or might be net say yes. We are suffering and Ekua omuni lead this COVID-19 fight. That's WHO, the World Health Organization. Na omuni tu amama awodo nyina fo e wo kwan a ye betumi afa so akua ti yare no. Afutu omodi ama wiase amama nyina ne sese yare ne ba ukuro mu a na estarte se tre wo ukuro ni mu a enye so obi na dia be wuro mu wo starte se wo nya horizontal na dia friend community infections na. E wo se wo ye dia friend lockdown na wo ensure social distancing. Because yare no aboa no nante
omoma guidelines for social distance
lockdown aboa ne nante aboa ne woni pam nti nipa ene de aboa no enante now so say if you me yes. So the point is that almost say yenya lockdown say na be ya ans ye betumi enya mmere na ye dia prevent in contacts. Because yare no obi timi nya bi kura no onim say yare no obi oye asymptomatic. Yare no obi wa etimi ekum ni wi ansa na ehun say yare no kum na bi Ghana. So onim za.
Okay, yeah.
Enti yaye lockdown hyehyeye. E na World Health Organization for models are lockdown hyehyeye na ba no. O mama your conditions are e was say o man bia e for fail ansa na wa left lockdown. O mama 6 conditions.
Which
if you would me ba. World Health Organization for conditions 6 or was it or my bia emiti and sana wa left in the lockdown. Ghana ye miti mu ba kumpu. First condition, disease transmission should be under control. Ghana ye disease transmission. I feel kwana komika
By what? Well,
from 137 to 1042. From 4 regions to 10 regions. From 4 deaths to 9 deaths. Or say, health systems in that country should be able to detect, test, isolate, and treat every case and trace every contact. Trace every contact. The point is, Ghana, baby, I do know. You to me tracy every contact ana. If you am bajo with me, you to me tracy every contact ana. The answer is no.
Do they will run me through the 6 list, no? Yanko, why can't 2?
That's the point.
I can 4.
Mrenti kran, who say o person uchama no.
There be me person.
But mrenti kran. Let me just read the point 6. Communities should be fully educated, engaged, and empowered to live under a new normal.
Okay.
The Ghana, your communities now they fully educated, empowered, engaged to live under a new normal. And then central for muku social distancing grammar for this.
Okay.
So over even World Health Organization conditions in kwaya meeting.
Okay.
EBMT experts. What's the one experts akasa? And yes, I'm Tie Professor Benka, one of the renowned epidemiologists in Ghana, on your NDC. Onim yarewasin isi trechen payo sajide. Tie other experts, doctors, or more kasa on this matter. All experts are saying, say, decision way at your how be bro minor, who be my arena tindi. I'm a needing soon so bonia bro my Ghana. This is not Sammy Jenfi talk.
Okay. Sammy Humeso.
I don't well.
Me person me electoral commission no.
But I have a lot of things to say because we produce a catch me say upon 9. It's actually my first day here.
Oh, I ain't do there.
But
one more time.
And Isaac Usum person me kasa.
Isaac kasa. So because me person mama the link because so start here now kasa politics.
I was building a certain case but
I think so. Man responded because I opening remarks. Into honorable Chechem said unia bema na say mo intentions in as genuine as who claim no.
Well, many about me no sa nkomo no mean to me
time allocation yes.
Mean to me
the understanding is that you know e was say okọ baby. Ti obeye ne de ne ntem no akwa. Mo betimi a che time na wa ye ne de awie na de be ka no de ma me so me. I think that's fair. All right, thank you.
You see, very sincerely, me I'm uncomfortable discussing this matter as MPP NDC. And you know, me sa panel discussion kwa me mpe because emfa yenkosi fi obi na pre to me and you know the ni obeka bia ma beto nkofo etrimu a o feel say nunti o mbeto abama no na obeka
ba GMA for mo pre to me
but me ni intra. I'm not sitting here with a GMA. I have a statement and GMA for sham Omampenyi who can TUC. I have a statement that TUC Secretary General made today said nia Omampenyi here all lifty lockdown is the best decision. Is here.
TUC for
that's right. Is here. The General Secretary of the TUC today. And
I see.
Ghana Medical Association for the so will come to those.
Ghana Medical Association
is here. The president met them today.
Almost endorsed.
I'm saying that the president what they said I also come to that one. And you know the GMA or the TUC is not here.
Okay.
And Kami I'm more comfortable discussing with GMA on I say TUC because omunfanye to me pre we dey nya manual sem kura e to me pre. There's a difference between a manual sem and to me pre.
But how can you
na to me pre because enya to me pre a won't mean be kire me say state institutions and the data be to dwa. Now who have example until say nya no kre ye bisa say na so say o mi na minim na meka nya no kre na we see yemfa who statement over Nuguchi yemfa who statement over Ghana Health Service. What kind of joke is that? Now we are invited to interrogate those matters. Me na me fu say amanyo to me pre. In fact, impo amanyo semukrampo na. The strict interpretation of the word amanyo asem na ye pese ye dia. And the answer no beka say minjin di say sa figure no kra ye correct no. Na nka wo the alternative figure via ba say media me fu say e na ya ye. Ade aya report to world meter on COVID-19 WHO. Who call WHO website? WHO na ye quoting CCN. Who call WHO website? Figures ya ye quoting ni there. And no one about WHO. No there correct figures. You can pick and choose near who feel say way better me abu media now we journey called WHO but who call WHO now who your figures need there and no there you don't contradict it. I don't think that's a serious discussion. I don't want to have it. Media near minimum nukra minimum figure way data testing institutions no edibetu jano and no na make come asem. If somebody doesn't know say ene ye testing e wo kolebua onu ni ignorance no mean to me enye ho hwe.
Okay.
But obi beka say oh ye nuguchi pe any cases here and yet it's not true. There are other institutions that are conducting tests
like Kolebu.
Unim. And you know, I would go on with that one.
What about the issue about the capacity of all test no?
I'm saying to you that even the institutions who are conducting Adiano Krano, even the counting, Krano 1, 2, 3, Nukrane can Krano Yedi Mai, now the capacity. These figures are coming from the data institutions. Some people say, Inti Nuguchi for no, Obia Juma or Nuguchi or no, Omunina MP before. And the cases here no neutral person be anywhere or no say the figure no be tuja or beka say na figure or just say obia Ghana Health Service doctors say wo the regional directors of health service, district directors of health service omunyina all of a sudden o be MP before into Ghana Health Service no sisi ano Dr. Bedusa Kwadiemu a omu start year doctor answer na ebia menu answer me jemfi start say all kind political bills krai enenu nkrofo nyina o ma year doctors abin enim ne omo ye no all of a sudden no o ma be MPP for omu twa ntro che Ghana for. I don't think that we can entertain send maybe infamemu because kasa no bi o ho just say you are worse than coronavirus yare no kura. Who are ubekasa asem no? Who are worse than coronavirus na nkasampo?
Who are ubekasa saying?
Say data na institutions of state edibetu juano eyentro no. Me say me pass. Me say me dem feel say who kra coronavirus no.
We shouldn't question.
We shouldn't take you seriously. What is the basis? These are serious discussions for the people of Ghana. Now number 2 Afia yenko say yes you. Argentina ye impose
lockdown no.
Lockdown no. We are clear in our minds why we imposed the restrictions. And from the very day Omampenye impose restriction on the tuja. Say we want to limit the spread. You can call it halt and limit in my view, the same thing. And again to conduct enhanced contact tracing.
Well, someone halt mo ka se mba manage na.
Yeah. And I make say me ba ho. O say ye tumi nyanti ase. Say see ye how to spread that. And no nkire say ye part say and because of that talking about say and there we should never lift restrictions there. And they just say all over the world the restrictions will continue in perpetuity because the figures will always go up, they will never come down. Uko China and now even though restrictions have been lifted in Wuhan city, the numbers of recorded cases in Wuhan continue to go up. Mibwa. You are confusing the rates. You are confusing the rates of infestation with the total number of infestations. They are two different things. You are comparing apples to bananas. And you will say, oh, Adenuna at 10. And now why lockdown? Adentina Ekoda 11. Oyi lockdown free hona. You are suggesting as though free 10 cases. No, ubet me about 9 cases. There be you only add on.
Yeah, but our party say we say Gina Fako.
Now
I evidence say Adeno Gina ho.
That is to no chere say coronavirus no a free yememu.
There be our party say a season spread.
But I'm saying to you that is not how at what point you lock down because the lockdown no enye nu ene ekwan kwan a wotumi fa so ekuntia coronavirus no. In fact nowhere in the world. And now people can say, oh, yeah, lockdown, say, it is the means to curing Adiano Debbie.
I was to stop. I say President Kasana can't bro for no.
We see the idea is that is why uya test now unya 1,042 are. You isolate them from the bigger population now. What stop spread no. Anka one yes ana sa 1,040 no any nama. By this time, no anka minion anka onyebi. Ebia nasa nipa anka oshia bako. So what you do with enhanced contact tracing, testing, which leads directly to limiting the spread. Say you identify nkrofo nanka ordinarily no yennim say omu wo yare na omu anka sampo ennim omu ni na omu chiche, but you are able to identify them in the nick of time and remove them from the population. That is how you limit spread.
So that is the whole thing.
That's how you limit spread. And that is what we have done. But opinions are like noses. And I will not come here and disagree with somebody's opinion, whether it is politically grounded or even if it is scientifically grounded. I cannot do that. But I know that, look, I also made the point to you, sir. Or say, the rising numbers, argument, said number no, now a war 100 and something, say you were 1,000. Yes, you were 1,000 because of the strategy to lock down, because of the strategy to enhance, to do enhanced contact tracing, and to test more people. So that is how come the numbers will. If you go to other countries here, womu enye enhanced contact tracing. Womu no obechen na uya real hospital. Now you're trained with sample. Now I call test here. Anka sana ya. Anka Ghana by this time maybe another number 200. You
can't be too sure say other countries yes are anyway.
But it is true. If you go to, for instance, Nigeria, it's published. The data is there. They
don't test.
I'm saying they test. They test when you go out there and you go to the hospital or you show something. They test you. They don't do the kind of thing what we are doing here. Not to me testing that number if they are doing with their population and why are they not getting the numbers that we are getting? Why are they not getting the numbers they are getting? Even their population, bear 200 million and over. We are not even just talking about the number of cases. So we are looking at the test. After we say we are double counting. It's not even true. And also trying to Kojo Oponkroma to say Kojo Oponko Ebekan baby. The president's speech is here. The president was categorical. And no, Omanpenika said, just a second. Fellow Ghanaians, since the first 2 cases of the infections were recorded on our shores, we have till date traced some 86,000 contacts, out of which test results of 68,591 contacts. So it is the contacts that we are counting and not the number of tests. Say nipa baku ya 3 tests into no. We are counting the number of individual contacts
and not the number of tests.
Absolutely, because these tests are coming from the 86,000 samples. If you go to Nuguchi, Uko cases here, there are small bottles. You are counting the small bottles.
Yeah, but small bottles, and they ought to me take it small bottles 3 from the same person.
No, I don't.
Say, I COVID now because you test sometimes 3 times.
But
I'm saying confirming negative.
Yes.
You to me from day 1. From day 7
yes.
and day 14,
yes.
Now you to me confirm say 3 testing results in your consistency negative
yes.
and a positive and you declare any person so negative or positive.
No, the only time I hear multiple tests at the no. A time I person you declare fully recovered. You test now we are negative or we are negative. You test
now we are negative.
Now we are negative or we are negative.
Don't they confirm the negative?
So then, by that analogy,
yes.
It means that we are doing Obiano 2 tests twice.
Because
there are a few isolated cases, like in the case of mandatory quarantine for now, Omubaya, but Ebinumu, because they were tested before the 14 days. You were forced to test them again because the science is telling you, say, within the 14 days, you can test somebody one young develop symptom, but not now you cannot. The viral load is so low, you cannot capture it because you tested the person. Ebia on the day na nipa no go through aeroplane. Ebia that day no ena nipa no nya yare no.
Okay, but does that not support some?
But I'm saying that's isolated. We are talking about 70,000 nipa sena eba quarantine no. All the other people, they had come into the country long before the day I started here mandatory quarantine no. We are talking about people who entered into the country from around the 3rd of March.
Okay.
Towards the 12th of March thereabout. Until if you are doing their test in the late days of March, by those times, from 14 days, you can never say, they will not respond to the test. So the argument of double counting is clear ignorance, a lack of ignorance about how the process works. Obi say umma me yare no na ebia ye me test na ebia me prove positive and that's me prove negative ne mum na me wo yare no because by that time you just gave me antiviral load no ye low and you can get a false negative. Somebody like that no they will say oh mumma yen twen kakra na yen san yen test. That is what happened with omo ba ye in mandatory quarantine. So that should not be confused to me, say. And even that one, we have not counted those ones double in this number. We have not. Those ones are treated separately. Okay. They are not part of this, the 86,591 samples that we are talking about. Okay. And if you want to disagree with a serious matter like this that the government is fighting, I would think that with the level of and so on and so forth, I would have thought that they would have been able to give us the alternative data. Said there be. Say. He quoted Professor Binka. I have listened to Professor Binka. Professor Binka doesn't support near all Pachanu. My true reading, my understanding of what Niana Professor Binka Elkano, and he said, what we are doing is what we should do. Professor Binka has never said that. That's my understanding. Oka say, yenye lockdown, districts, yenye district specific. And the president yesterday said that. Omanpenyini can say, and now with the data that we are seeing, say who be here say ye be ko baby akoye lockdown, and the president even added curfew. Krampona, who be here say ye be ya. Yeah, but one lift here. No, you one lift in the two areas. Mm-hmm. You have lifted in the two areas because the problem no. So why that today if because say lockdown Accra, any Kumasi in Krano, does that mean say the case cannot get worse in the Sujamai where they have recorded the case? Does that mean that? Yeah, but problem you know be 1 year lifting of the lockdown. They say, baby, I do not cases no, and the boom 3 weeks per 1,000 no, and the timing of the lifting no, the boom no, and come on to my boss and Kavia 1,000 no quite consistent. So I bear through another 3 weeks. Near him say, okay, where the Egina we have managed, we have controlled it. The boom no, the strategy, and just say anka yeti ho, yetwen say obi yare no ko hospital, just like other countries are doing, and now all of a sudden you who hiker, now obi kan ye ken ya, ebi ametumi ati ase. Okay. But from the very beginning, no, na yenim say boom beba because we wanted to go after the virus and bring it out from its hiding. And by all means, we expected a curve. In any case, in pandemic management, the graph is always a bell-shaped. And there will be a hike. And the fact that there is a hike doesn't mean, say, and I made the point to you earlier, if you say, it is not true, say, it is only through the vehicle of lockdown. There are countries that have not gone on lockdown. They are able to fight the virus. Lockdown. Yes, but they are able to fight the virus. There are countries that have gone out of the of lockdown already. There are other ways. For instance, if we are locked down, dynamics na Ghana no. Say they are swording. Say they nipa movement. Cry won't to me manage. Say they nipa baby a ote. Cry is difficult to identify. Say wait ashama, wait nima, wait trasako, wait say ninti. And an lockdown no. In the wisdom of the president, omunina and then they say lockdown. The more reason why Afia my convinced say NDC for woman nitima omuni abadaye and na woman ninti ase Ghana ye situation woman ninti ase bia no. Now I am convinced. Share me see so we are buying uti ase say lockdown no e de how ebe tu nipa so nkrofo pi wo ho a menua because of the nature of your economy no. Oman kwamba ebeye diama wom. Me see street naming, national identification, ayenu anomo ndesi kufo shase omo be 8 years. Oman fan not 1 centimeter crown omo fan de kan. Street naming cry diama ye. Eni na see for the way our economy is informal. Say usi yenye lockdown. Abra there are other effective ways. Mamema untu mfatu kitwe bi na e wo se me ko baby fufuro bi. Mamema mfatu kitwe bi. Yenim plum baby a mami bi ti mi fie nchen ni sink asai under the lockdown. Ni sink say plumber into me mba embe fixi sink no. Enti insu aka ni sink no mo. Enti ohaw e won so no, ohaw no e wo ho, obi into me mba. Ena plumber so tifie ekomude no. Because that plumber no untumi classify ni say oye vulnerable because usha onye de bia okoba no nya ni sika 200 Ghana 300 Ghana enti untumi nka say oye vulnerable. But lockdown aba untumi mpie de bia enkofa sa 200 ni 300 no enti onusu ehefie afi de untumi nhwe ne ho eni fiefo. Now you have two options. Who you are buying? Say ubeka say yenye lockdown. Ya ye lockdown data no so akasa kire yen say oade no the rate of spread no e low.
Ate no ti na 100 million na to no.
Me ba ho. I'm coming there. Me see. You see the rate of spread no e low. He's not addressed that. All he did was to say enye no kre. Ebiom so no. Yeah, akasa no.
One can say cases not spreading enye low. He addressed that.
But if out of 86
out of 100 and something, now I jump 1,000 in just.
No, but that is not the rate of spread. I'm saying that is not it. I'm saying that Niamey Pachani say who testing nipa 68,000 now a 1,000 and a prove positive. And it's you don't have to be a mathematician to know say the rate of spread is low. And you're 1.5% of the total number tested. And you're 1.5%. Into who can nominal figure now, and they just say you just want to mislead.
Okay.
Yan fan say anka ye testi 86,000, and anipa e be 30,000 e prove positive. I am telling you, say you feel say the strategy will be the same because 30,000 of 60,000 is 50%. At that level, no, the strategy would definitely be different. And even that 1,042 no krano, people are recovering. All of this, you must bear it in mind when you take decisions. So to go back to the point now me making it say, and it's a plumber no. See the size is showing say impo o yare no krampo na. Obetumi share nose mask. Na oba maminu fie.
No abeye adwuma.
Na maminu so share nose mask. Say onu ne wo yare ni bia. Nam say o share nose mask nti no. Oba ya because intesio has to I was saying intesio free na no eba bonten ansa na obi betumi aye infected nti no. Nam say wo share nose mask nti no. Intesio no aka nose mask no nti obetumi abeye adwuma no. Pepepe a on fire yare no emma mame no. And na say mame no so na wo bia. Once mame no share nose mask no. Obetumi ama plumber na beye adwuma. Okay. Ohaw na e wo mame no so no ye betumi ayi afri ho. Okay. Na plumber no so ohaw kakra e wo ne so no na wondo so otumi anya ni solution. And you are saying say for a president to take that decision and to go ahead and say Ghana for yesuban yentiasem, I find it quite insulting to the people of Ghana. We shall lockdown ye na no ya. E wo mu se ba ku mienu bi ya so brache de. But largely the people of Ghana sebi ye badwin bafo.
Are you sure? Yeah, other media houses go to a night market and Kofor we're having a ball.
Look, these are isolated. You know the number of markets we have in this. Now, who market Bakwa? You know the number of markets we have? Okay. Now, who market Bakuna, Kofor, and I say, who say problem Bakubi or Babia. Then because of that, I say, Ghana for we are difficult people. I don't think so.
Okay, on our way at it.
Who share traffic a workroom and the first day of the lockdown? Who share traffic a workroom? Now, who did 2 time and now lockdown a year enforcer? You know, say Ghana for no, they respected the lockdown largely. There may have been a few isolated cases. I would not accept any Nasamije few or Nutia or yet Ganani. Now, no, they would say, or no, dear, ye cassette in a few or better than a few. You see, you say. So no bet me sir. How can you then suggest say or no to me ya or be front to me or no then any who soon patching or be fufra or no dear or bet me dimrano so now be in the emrano so.
You know, mammy cause I'm the one of Pacho. So 1 million say I'm on left to lockdown 600 million more the bedding. Come on left to lockdown 100 million more the bedding. And 3 weeks 100 million $100 million now present can you know. Yes. Says he can one year.
$100 million no and lockdown no. Nobody has said say yarenu efriememu. And the contact tracing, in fact, the president has said, say, after the be rapid test now the president is saying, President Akase, region Biano, at the very minimum, yebenya one testing facility in every region. So the process is advanced. Okay. And I see, we are not saying, say, coronavirus a free man no more. So the question of the 100 million will continue to play its role for us to fight the coronavirus. But understand, say, lockdown no enya nunkua na ye kwan a yetumi fa so a yekutwa coronavirus.
That point has been well made. But 100 no so na nkofo bebe was suspicion about no ne 1 billion.
It is ungrounded. It ehun hia. Ehun hia.
Well,
say akuntebuo na ye we are public funds. The auditor general can audit it. Parliament has oversight responsibility. So I think say a premature say 100 million. How was it used and all that? Okay. We are using that money to fight the fight against coronavirus.
Yo, honorable Mamindo ase. Here some JV. Pacho bem.
Vim lady. What's that? You may why achepa.
And honorable ya that's why.
Why ejuma we achepa. Inti ame bo din vim lady no. It's for a purpose. Now, respectfully, I think that program I wanna host to know. I was subject to one hour basso to a certain standard. Sebi, hanye baby me my dream no. I was say ubi be can asem without a dance.
Okay.
No afa ni wedi. You see, when we are arguing about basic verifiable information, I will humbly suggest as somebody I'm a follow watcher say, "Obe subject say, what ya bahano to street proof." Say na be ya wonu awoti no enkoye o madwe mu kesene ne no mo be hu asem ni mu no kura nkasa. O say me start ya make say Pius Ajidat na ha kase. Ghana ya testing nipa 86,000. O say o wankasa.
O say 70.
No ka 70. Indi Afia o mampenyi speech no ukitabi. O producer
maka channel so downloading brand na.
O kra o producer no man frɛ Pius Ajide. No nka so o mampenyi speech no nkyere be bia. O mampenyi say Ghana ya testing the past 70,000. O say me ye joker. Na state institutions had information ba. Me say state institutions nsem na nya nokre. The patro no so mu misa na say state institution ben and the information about say Ghana ya testing nipa 70,000 for COVID-19.
And the state president can or no ka say president can.
Why di kan ka president and waka state institutions. Ma sembisa na say o ma yehu state institution
corona or the way
one publish results say Ghana testing nipa 70,000. O ma yehu nipa kura was say Ghana ya testing nipa 70,000 for COVID-19. Say your man penny say you on country. You see, if these are the people we are paying with our taxpayers' money as ministers and the Ghana ya bokapa. Because Pius Ajide incompetence in even understanding the on one kasa man penny the boss akano. And I bobi hu. Amama who said this government is pathetically inept. And until na almost say or minus out. Brofo man penye kufu adu ankasa akano Pius Ajide ntiase. Wakaya dia no de rewene ho. O man penye ka contact, wanka testing. Look, o man penye kasa no. He was very clear. O se Ghana ya tracy contact tracing kwa ya ni over 86,000. Out of 86,000 na ya trace contact tracing ne chere say ebinum nya yare ni bi ba Ghana. Omo ba Ghana no mo de asane ni pa bi no. Omo nya yare ni bi no. Omo ni afoforo adinkita ho. Ebi ni bi achia, ebi ni bi akodidi, ebi ni bi nete. Enti ane ne ye friend no contact no omo ni omo interact. Chances are that omo ni omo adinkita ho no ebi betumi anya yare ni bi. Enti se ye kase ye contact trace ye chese ye hwehwe wono a
achi
ene omo wa yare ni bi enya nkita hodie ene ne friend contact trace o mampanyi si omo a omo hwehwe omo ahu omo so omo ne wono a wanya yare ni bi enya nkita hodie no omo ye 86,000 na out of the 86,000 no Omumu bear 69,000 results. Test results, not contact tracing. Test results now you ready. 18,000 test results aka
more train.
So testing one seminar no mampenika. Omampeni anka 70,000 wo baby and no state institution aka ne baby say ya testing of 70,000 people ayentro. Say oseme boa mon friend no nchire state institution kro any what publication di any wom ni ehu de oyejuka dia omampeni kan ya na on tiase no mami ready because this program is a big platform uba na ubeke kans bibi di kwa ubegu hu animu ase enti mami ready na etiefo enti including MPP for mu tie mu minister mo mampeni asem kra no on tiase obi entie no njaje. Also, fellow Ghanaians, since the first 2 cases of infections were recorded on our shores, we have, till date, traced some 86,000 contacts, out of which we have test results of 68,591 contacts. If you answer to the major answer. So, or text results once. Text results. They said, ya chiri muno. Yari we say, winya bini ya kasa we positive. Na, ya do 2 treatment so. Bwause we immune system bit me kweti yari na later wa testing negative. Ansana, ube testing negative no. Ebi wo wa, ya testu mprenu na mprensa. So because first one what tested positive or yare ni bi ye do to treatment so one do pempen so ye san test will be rest yare no e da so wo ho e wo ho ye san to test will be enti ye 93 recovered cases no nipa 93 na Ghana ha o manya yare ni bi a omo ho ato omo di can test positive later o ma test negative omo ya test you omo bro mprensa e bi mprensa
in fact opening back chief lab or say sometimes omo test 2 ebi omo test 3 positive for no 3 negative for no 2
good ye kire no ebi mandatory quarantine ye no de kire ne say emre o mampanyi ka say wato airport mu wato ye borders mu no omo ana o maba bedru o man Ghana mu no aban ka say by force ye mamu nkofie ye de mo be ye be kora mo baabi na ya hwehwe mumu ahwe say yare no mo obi ana mu ni bi nipa aban quarantine omo no mo ye 1030 e kire ye 10 be ka ho ma ne be ye 1040. If you out me,
yeah.
Some Crawford under mandatory quarantine, son, you be release you abasa way negative into ufie no. If you anti bahabeka, you better test to be imprenu.
Yeah.
Answer.
Day 1, day 14, and a day 21.
Test results ni na ukabomu a unya 86,000. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So 86,000 test results, and say you have tested 86,000 people. Because nipa ba kubi wa testing imprenu prensa. This is common sense. Unti we ase no betra TV so ne kasa twitwie na wo didi ni pattern dia me kanono then ebiem o say kolebu ye testing
yeah o say
it is a minimum a me ignorant if you make catch say you will 2 major testing centers ana meboa
yeah and I want admit say they are smaller
because there are some other abansi we nya ka ho but as other testing centers no omo testing omo ye na ho results aban nya mfa kan the old declare no pay me information because that is what I told you but because say empo assuming without admitting say other additional centers na ye nya no omo capacity so o dey as a kolebu how many tests don beat ya here menya just meet omo even capacity to do 50 I stand to be corrected but omo capacity do maybe
I'll check because some major lab
now me ba if ya the point is that me say what the even other centers na omo dey aka ho ni nyina aka ho na we omo capacity omo betumi aye maximum test omo betumi aye per day now they multiply 21 days unya 86,000
you
tests.
made that point too, yeah.
That is the point I'm making. And you say what say me boa and what say catch them say deputy minister apart from Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research apart from Nuguchi Same Jenfi wabon ye wo kolebu ye wo ha
these are the results.
Nuguchi 1,000 capacity 1,000 tests per day. Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research e 200 per day. Dia unim na me educate you no we 50 we 100 we say ukabo mu a a 2,000 capacity to conduct 2,000 tests per day and 1,002. Now they are no multiply 21 days I win 86,000. Then you are speaking as a deputy minister. I better to papa so kolebu ye text kolebu capacity yesen. Wakajre. So just as a deputy minister justify 86,000 test results.
Okay.
Chire me test centers do aye wo. Na ka o capacity chire me. Na yen for multiply where you be a calculator on the phone so. Yen for multiply number of days yeah lockdown. Ni yen say be 86,000. Okay. Omudi truntin on to me kan.
Okay, but you brought back to
so on the issue of testing, if you know mucha chain, and you know cre say what they want to say the way so now can say enuntino what the yari will be diagra minia you will laugh at the wrong side of your mouth. Medical actually mu say butaye bi si eni so ntini ya partial lockdown. Makai omampenyi enum wasem on the 27th of March. Okay. The according to omampenyi na ye ne butaye nti ya partial lockdown. Ye me na meka share na no. I've quoted his words or say to contain and halt the spread of the virus. Okay. Payosagis they say no understanding of halt the spread of the virus and they say virus no a move from 137 cases 2042 na no what ya hot.
There be so patch say from day one ye nyina nim say virus no edu o man bi emo ekosoro ansa na stabilize. Until the fact say o matimi aye contact
until they stabilize that be.
O patch so man ye
stability kire sen afia emwa no wo ze wo no wo ye penimu emwa no wagu na ni wani as stability kire sen. Stability ne say go and read Taiwan for case. Stability ne say over 50 case wako 100 wako 150 wako 200 wako 280 na fi what ya ba 250 na fi what ya ba 230 na what ya ba 150 and when your friend say okayfm no I started depot na say wo yere ho a e be flat. Okay. And say yare no sorry free 130 yeah started from 2 ni akọ 20 something ni akọ something and ya ba be do 137 you see ya lockdown after 2 weeks ni do 440 me boa. No, I'm paying my extended lockdown no? From 440, you do 1,042. You cost so say you ma from back okra. And you then you curve ni see ni tiase. Okay. And yet we have not even gotten to any point of stability. Not to talk of a drop. We have not even seen one decline. There be anyway that's sorry ya. Now you want 500 cases so it's about 400 and now 450 that. Okay. Okay. Into the omo kano kra no minim say whether they listen to themselves minim the omo kano kra menti ase into lockdown. Let me tell you this if you Ghana Medical Association team dey support no me ba ho o mai bia ni opa yo sagede me say afia say me ba o programs wa che wa gogo nyema mu amanfo pa. This is not a vintage vim lady I know pa yo sagede that na o show so say amama bebre nya yare ni bi but o ma anya partial lockdown be nya because anya partial lockdown kwa nya dey fight yare no. Okay, what bisa say several methods. Tell me on my back kura when you 1,000 cases are one year partial lockdown. Tell me back
1,000 cases.
They say you 1,042. You see a year partial lockdown. Nigeria
cross so moon 1,000. In fact, Ghana see a 1,000 year lockdown.
These ministers they are liars. Omun kanu kwa me say, mama one country when you 1,000 cases are one year partial lockdown we free yare nim. And now one year partial lockdown. E bi ni ho. Look, Rwanda. Omo 143 cases as we speak. Pokagami Krum Rwanda. Out of 143 no, nipa 65 eno mo ho ato aka 79 pe. Nipa ba ko kra mu e wo Rwanda. Ene eno mo lockdown no, eson ye wo se nka Rwanda man panyi betimi ye free wo se 143 cases. Nipa 65 ho ato mo. Nipa ba ko kra mu mi krum. Rwanda man panyi si dabi. Metre lockdown ni mu for 11 days more. Or they are 30th April.
Tebia na kom e ho hantuma afo ne no so. Pa say
hantuma afo no so. If you obi ani wo pe lockdown. Me NDC panyi. Me wo me party fo ase bi de wo bedi under lockdown kra na eden. Bi wa wankwa adwuma de obe hye de obedi be bi obeda onya. Lockdown ba o man bi emu e de aho kire na e ba ye Social Democratic Party ye bi o man fo ye nim. But if you ye dwe nipa nkwa ho chen nipa ho to. Okay. Nipa nkwa ho hia chen nipa ho to. Safety of lives is more important than nipa convenience. I mean, can be job. Send me home be me 1 week, 2 weeks. Me fa ho chire kakra mu. Na mabo mam o man na tinya so yare na no. Na yare na ba fom. Na me ba bonten, na me ne me mama busua me papa ne me maame mo. Ye nim se contain yare no. Your risk of infection no is so minimal no. Yare minuaba. Ye chance me fa sa ho chire nim. Chance ubema me freedom se me mra magimani. Me mra me pesika.
But the point has also been made.
Yare a enya dro. Na metinya fraso ama mabusua me ma me yerenom ahwere me.
But yes mo susu na ahase no mo say lockdown.
Afia me ba ho. Enti yenti ase say NDC fo enya say lockdown na ye do. Na ufri say yes say ya bie lockdown na sa me je metimi ato Ghana akoye me campaign enti me mpe.
Okay.
Party for bebre a omo adeso ada yen so lockdown ye pe bibi kakra mobile money we fa we sa adeso ani nyina be free me so enti me mpe. But se me ho to me na me nua bi hwere ne nkwa fa so be na wo so.
Okay.
Enti yenti ase say safety lives ehu ya che inconvenience. Hwe omo ani age a omo se ye yi lockdown free o man penya ya de pa no. Enye se lockdown na ye free o na ye omo de afia.
Okay.
Eye komuntia.
Eye
kom. Ah. Adentina Paul Kagame krom Rwanda de. Ya extended lockdown na omanfo atiase. Because Paul Kagame no o timama ne manfo aduane o che no door to door.
Na say aban che aduane.
O che aduane we. Ye twa sika 2.8 trillion na mo manpenya kufuado. Wode na no fafa akasa o de aduane beba nipa 400,000.
2.8 trillion ben.
Ye twa sika 280 million cedis. O de batiti sika ni 2.8 trillion.
Parliament
for food and water. Dry meals 40 million.
Yes.
Hot meals 40 million. O di show nyina kan 280 million. Titi sika no 2.8 trillion. Ghana for ntiem yepa. Fama Ghana for ni aduane a aduane no mo sori a ni aje ne tise cooking.
Aduane no.
Ni pa o mo lockdown areas e come di o mo nya aduane ni. Afia me say program wa ya ache. Say reporters group na come. Yes, your lockdown areas are throughout the lockdown aduane anko.
Throughout.
Basa me kasa asemu ya na ye me ya. Aduane ba akokra nsi ho. Baby wo ha ye de aduane ba ho eduoda aje se na wotwe ansa na aduane aba. Ama mo bo ne be no. Baby kakra kro mo che aduane no. Ye de MPP card de che aduane ni gu MPP parliamentary candidate scam.
Mo se enya no kre.
Na the MPP for kan. And ye de achire wo kro mo asen ka Ghana te se heaven.
Basa mo so man fa evidence bi anje card.
Evidence da ho enya ndi simple evidence. Videos Ghana web publish story publishing video. Yes. Video. Ade uhu okayfm central MP or ho a say gender minister man aduane so mechema MPP for na ne opponent accuse ni say aduane no de ye campaign na nya say aduane no de ye campaign no angaza akota na akoche na aduane confirming say gender minister aduane a ye de Ghana for ye nyina ye to atose ye mfa ma hia for no ono de ma MPs and parliamentary candidates meaning it's because abayan timian taking care of the poor and the vulnerable no ama koma dia manfo ache wo fie no enunti no obi ase ene ye pay freedom because the corona say e kombe kum die ene me ba bontin be di kra at least coronavirus ye me de betimi dia to chacha so ti ase so mu jubilate no se wudi enu achi na o ka se nipa kakra mu jubilate no eno kire se lockdown ne ya nti ase e ye komuntia
okay
senka omampanya kufu ado aye de Paul Kagame
eye ni bi
ayama Rwanda de Togo mampanyi yandema wayama na manfo na yede bo ahiafo a sika bebrebe a yede amom no so bu yusu ni ya
omunyina ma aduane the same thing na president here
o say
omunyina ma kania
aduane nsuo opa akotoko na bisa say such a deprived area aduane ne ba how many times a week
man no be verify the ombeka na the ombeka bia na obefa gia
na wo kra wo yanse aban no wa kire wo say aduane no oche aban no kra no wati apart from say ye che aduane na 400,000 wa kire wo say musi che aduane no wa kire wo say deprived communities ni hana hiafo na yenhyehyɛ ye ne se de bia ye de aduane bɛkɔ mpre baako ana mpre nu anopa ne anyo aban ne de hyehyɛ bi saba
me ni chief director for Ministry of Gender and Social Protection kasa Saturday on UTV critical issues no can say omo hyase na omo che 250,000 a day and na omo increase no ko 400,000
250,000 omo wen
also omo che no area by area district by district
You see, governance is a serious matter. Say, Odio Yamao, and yet, Omampenya Kufuadu Siko, and Ghana, you see, Kanya Diamano. Yakwa winye him. On fan so or mouth was near when he high. And tis I was a wood watch a Ghana many per 250,000. Say, or more.
Okay.
Where are these people located? Me say they were doing far less than 20,000. Figure no more can I bloated. How do you check? Is it that the omo in a week no more kika bomb 250,000 every day? No man penyo kufuadu every day the omo nipa 250,000 bi anya senka. Na ka lockdown we Ghana for be complaining.
Okay.
Anya no people were not getting the food. Eduane ni che no so erratic. You get it today, tomorrow you don't get it. Eduane no so baby ye cha ni yiyimu. So what you say? Enti come what the amount for ahokyerenti and amount for the amifika say we.
Okay.
Na me aba.
Try mama unia be ma piles. So what bonidi?
Oh no please. No please. No if you this one I will protest. No wait a minute I say.
What bonidi making allegations against him?
No this one meant as if you and now permit on the show. And then I'm permit on the show. No, and then I won't permit on the show. If you this one, I won't. No, I protest. I respect you so much. You know our relationship. Because if you me bahati, if you no, if you see, if you me the mania to, or if you me the mania to, and me bu mania go nyama because of our relationship. Your producer went through hell to get me to come for this program. I come and Pius Ajide sits here. Pius Ajide sits here and says, "Oh no, you're comfortable to have the debate and blah blah blah." Wakasa extensively. I drew me so me kasa kakrebia. Hey, Pius Ajide was so cool baby nti man time. I sat here, kept quiet. Okasa twitwi mi nyina maye din. Wakasa we okọ. Me drew me so na me kasa. We drew enkwanta onsa na chimra. Say a chin baby na onsa na chimra. We are talking about facts here. Until say I only issue press release because the agreement Isaac Oyusu producer way. He told me, "Manen kasa mi no nko." We are not do so. If you me pese me no nko to kwanyumre. Ti mamen ka masem. If you are not to nchen. Mamen ka masem.
You are a bully.
I'm not a bully. I'm fair. Uni me no.
You are a bully.
You are very fair. No, other me please. Don't do that. I can never do that. Nobody walks out of a studio. Get somewhere and call some person me response. What be that?
Also what body ding.
Only issue statement. And now on court. Only issue press release. So person or response because you see if you are more crown no so so.
Yes so say.
They all you need kwa ma yeti for. Because if you want to be part of the discussion. I sat here and listened to you. You should have sat here. Or anytime. I cannot be on other programs. Please,
so if you are minister,
there be any minister and yes, will be minister or the baby hand time away so. No, because we have come for a program. You've had your time. No, or if you and your mother say anytime I'm speaking there, you want to cut me. No, Mamma come and make us say we are not with them. It's more fun say most of the panel discussions are on phone in. The moment me submission. I'm my friend. Now, Minuaba, in coming to the substantive issues,
because me person linking it to electoral commission.
Yes, me bao. Me can explain this. World Health Organization, our conditions are. Omodi ama menina. Say no near her so they left the lockdown. Now, I mean, kabibi. Minuaba. China, no cry say Wuhan.
Yare ni shasi.
Sa say no. Omo ye lockdown strict. Nipa mpie.
3 months.
3 months. E de control yare no ma yare no number ne ba fom. Yare no start say airdrop no. E na omo left lockdown no. Enu mpo no, ene China for no hu so manu omo ho. So omo left in terms of meboa. Because yare no start here ama ne hom ne so. The same thing in Singapore. Singapore for so sa omo ma yare no e ba fom edu be no say ye left lockdown no. Omo left we na fe yare ni page. No ma sound the lockdown aba. Omo mpo a omo yare cases ne ba fom. Ye de ma fom o. Soro na ekọ. O si me yi lockdown we free ho. Amama bi atimi left omo lockdown wa. Omo de osusu anso body bi amba. Ebi ni South Korea. Omo left omo lockdown kra de ato aba one day. Ebi ni Taiwan. Omo ye partial lockdown. Omo left the bi ayo okay. But look at the Taiwan and the South Korea example. Omo ye strict partial lockdown for months. Not 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yaria no started say back from figures neighbor from no and almost ya left it. Yes, yanka say NDC for yanka say NDC for yanka say emam omapenyi yango lockdown mu forever. Adan yempese ye be campaign yempese ye be adwuma. Yes say emran so say baby ya dru no ye be lockdown afi ho. And also Professor Penga or ye epidemiologist waka.
Also one can sir.
Masa, I have the video here. Me forward the amount. Key points TV3. Or say na dream no. Ka Kumase ene Kaswa areas ne de figure no form no. Ye betumi ayi partial lockdown no kakra. Na ye strict lockdown e wo districts yare ne wo. So no suggest say ka baby to say eastern region. And I'm say cases 55 no do na wo menya krobo ntino. Or no be recommend say yen local menya krobo. Ni eastern region.
But omanfo no krapo.
Yenye the same thing wo Kaswa, yenye the same thing e wo Kumase. Say yenye ho gradual approach.
Okay.
That is the same thing India is doing. But Osande can was for Accra there. On kase yenye partial lockdown let that because Accra is the epicenter. Professor Benga. All these experts the same thing Omoka. There na Ghana Medical Association no money on penny ko ye meeting we dey no maka. Omoka say no. Dr. Yansen kasa was efficacy tie me ye. Secretary. O say lockdown. Answer na oko meeting you. O say lockdown e pa there as a professional. This is not the time to lift it outright. Also ne kasa na meboa. Ti there na asesa in 40.
But o mo meeting as
a ko meeting ni tie me wakasa asempa nwumre. I listen a lot. So me bia maker. Also mo ko o mampanyi chire mu say as Omampenyi no o take decision on lockdown na yare ya. Ohwe nyema bibiri ohwe social factors, economic factors, cultural factors and health. Na emre bi atwam ni decision wa take ni nyina no. Eya health factor no na ohwe pa.
Okay.
Nipa pomuden. Enu nti e no de partial lockdown by. But Omampenyi chire mu achire mo say mprempren ya dui. Lockdown na de ahokyere abeto ebinum so. They say economic and social reasons.
Okay.
And not the so even Dr. Yansen would change of position. They are not saying say health wise. See the lifting of the lockdown makes sense.
Okay.
They are only saying that the president has given social and economic reasons. But some social and economic reasons and not and
okay.
Because if Sierra Leone with 20-something cases still they are under lockdown. Omuni social and economic factors.
Okay.
If Rwanda is still under lockdown, omuni social and economic factors. It's because they are prioritizing the health, the safety, and the lives of their people ahead of social and economic issues. So what you say? Enti nkayama ya wuchiri ebia 1 week bi ana 2 weeks kakra bi ka ho. Na ebia by that time yare every 1,000 about 500. Me kwa na mebo powder betena say efia. So yes,
but when you Omampenyi so nya adwen nkofo e ma pressure omunyuma asai wan hwe ye kra say lockdown no to aso a enyuma ne begu kra e na obi ani wa obebie company afa workers bi adwuma
one who Spain videos me but one who Spain COVID-19 videos and one who Italy video na nurse obaba akoye ya na osu free na kokon one o ka say nipa ye to nipa awu kra ye nya ba bi nsie o
ko do kra de we
nipa 8,000 would akro 7,000 would acro. So look at the cost. Minuaba, Omunina, a do baby, maybe no more 2 cases. Italy, maybe no more 500, maybe no more 1,000. Omude Yari diagrono, and only omone. And tis a me Ubeto Jumamu, Nedia, what's brewa. And ye me de, and ye NDC media de. Express no more Casamina, and no more de.
Okay.
But the no soon tea any a wabine. I was a bino, a yenshi, a pad so one business is best no asne. Unicromua, and a John Mahamad Aroma. Oko or the oil seeker $200 million stabilization fund eja President Kufuado. Yari bayi, Mrasebe for the Sikanama. Omampenyi Kufuado, or send papa Eko Wenyan, and so when they send papa Jan to Yagana said $200 million. That's 1.2 billion cities. Sa Sikana President Mahamadija Omampenyi Kufuado no. Also the mu 600 million Ghana cedis. Or they be chiche bosian kitten dia boa businessmen here ready for onte. Or stimulus packages.
Yeah, stimulus.
Na wa mo mere bebre am mo di atua. Say Sikana way. Enti yes, e be affect amount for businesses. But say stimulus packages ni be ba, at least people can recover. say we business be affected and they say we ba ebenya yare ni aduru dey na e so ana wan kasa ebenya yare ni aduru no we agya mako dey na ye. So we have two evils to choose in between.
It is if that is the other na more o can say chinchini abato nti because wa can social reasons so
because reasons here man be president need one reason kwentia obetimi aka so we there a scientific reason and a way a reason based on data nti social
common
no because a common dia sika ya dia man se onfam feed Ghana for no fam hia for no ebe so hia for so amabi aka
100 million no
100 million there and no put there a bonus o.
Okay,
president mama no 1.2 billion cedis, that's $200 million. Or you sika stabilization fund or the jano.
Na no president mama sika.
One pap set na breso no boabo sika na no. Edemano edijano. O there be 4 years ne pe. Eno na nchen no IMF ama aben sika $1 billion.
Emaye enya medui.
Minu aba ya approve wie sika ne da ho.
Ebe nya medu Ghana.
Na na say. Na say. So ti ase $1 billion to fi sika ketwa eko over 6 billion cedis. Check it. Togo omaye free electricity for all their citizens. Rwanda omo cheduane free. Check it say IMF wa mo $1 billion. Check it say sika bebre ba yenya World Bank for my $100 million. Ye IMF for my $1 billion. Mahama eja $200 million. And ne we che sika we and ne we ma sika we. Check it say Paul Kagame ni other countries ya mabobosu ya. Omo ye more to support their citizens than what President Akufo-Addo is doing. Check it so be nya sika bebre na. So ahokyere no aban ti bi yini nyina mfiri ho ba aban betumi aye bibi e de ateso aban no nye sika no mu ho akonta nkyere obia what was ya che aduane ama 250,000.
It's too early afi no mo be.
That is too early. 3 weeks here too early.
So afi no so o mo be che
aduane ma hiafo a won che ne ka is too early. It too people are dying, people are suffering. Was it 3 weeks here too early? Ndi am o mo saying 1 year
be kom nkumo bia o so ya
na me nua ba wo de no so kra to nchen a Afia say ye kra na o mampanyi se omo ya argument bi. It's important I deal with it. Omo so Ghana ye na ya enhanced testing in Africa. Inti ya testing na ya doso ya 86,000. Infection rate na ya kakra bi. Inti ye na ya de pa. Eno kire se yetimi aso yare na no. That is the most bankrupt argument I've ever heard.
How is that?
Unim test that China of why?
That's all more population, no.
No. Hold on. Unim test that UK of why?
Again, their population.
Even population, they are far higher. We are ratio now. Far higher. South Africa there, but me free South Africa. Me catch China. Me mama o my test pa. South Korea, China, UK. We 1,000s per day. Into o my test thousands no. Na just say yare no maso ano.
Na say
Afia your test na ye no. Enye no ne friend no mass testing and enhanced testing no. They are using the term wrongly. Because South Africa testing omo ye na say we free be mobile testing. Car enye ma ye de testing ni nyina gu. Ena ye wo health professionals. Omo nam
no more test
targeted ye say community yare aba ni aba ofie. So to say test no enye Ghana dey ya o test ya 2 weeks and na saka results no. Ye test ho na saka results. It's a mobile testing. Unya symptom. Uni obi anya contact. Obi owa yare ni bi ni kita won so ye test we. Na ni friend enhanced testing.
Osi omo di bi ba.
Afa ni ye dey ba ye nyandu ho. So to say. Na wo nyandu ho sa level na wo left wo partial lockdown. Awo mo do sa level na twam ni kwan left yo mo de. Tie ni yo.
Okay.
Ana sa testing no. Ye de ye nyina no. E ye omo ne omo nya yade ni bi en di kita ho. Test all the 86,000 tests now you are conducting. A test I based on contact tracing. If you are because okay, obi a may test. Because you knew obi anya contact. Obi any one knew obi a onya yare ni bi enya contact. Ya testing no. E wo Ghana. E yo mo mu obi enya contact. So what am say?
Now your point is a bit me aban say ya test here no kobi obi.
Na say we say aka nipa 18,000 test results in nyama. We dey tifo ye nyina ye use common sense. O man penyi say we trace 86 contacts. 69,000 results aba. Aka 18,000 results. Omo results on my yehu so we negative or positive no. Omo we.
Okay.
Omo we efia.
Omo fie na.
Omo fie.
Omo okrom.
Omo fie. Eti ungusu ye test no kwa omo ni amanfo edu nkita ho. They are having more contacts.
Okay. What if
enti ube na 18,000 results na wi no. Ube wu say ebi 50 bi wom and 100 bi wom omo yare ni bi.
Okay.
That 100 no. I just was so koye almost contact tracing. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Ebi an almost contact tracing. The baku bi ani nipa be 100. Na your contact tracing. And also your thousands. So it's a serious issue.
Yeah.
You have 18,000 people according to one kasa unya huomo results. Yet they are having contacts with people.
Okay.
Yare no obi kwa wo yare ni bi e won ho so hu because enne di won ni pebiem.
Yeah.
Enne na ma yare ni yehu no. Masa enne ko bi opon kroma. On asempa o say omo hu say even kaya yefo bi pu anya yare ni bi.
Yes.
Mamo bi enya bi. Ese mamo bi meboa. Deprived communities. Right now, yeah, community infections contrary to the na payosagideti etwitwa nkondumbo no. Community infections are yenya no. More than 70% of our cases.
Community infections.
Community infections.
70%.
Yes, there were two types of the infections imported. Just obi or bruche and then the yari abagana. So that's it. And yeah, what obi wa on two point that.
Yes, but
what's a Ghana ha?
Yeah, but we are then unya 70%.
Ghana Health Service. Opposite your
website. 70%.
Yes. I don't know, my friend. Through general surveillance, no. General surveillance. No. More than 70% of our cases say your community infections. You close to your border, no.
Obiama.
Yeah, we mandatory quarantine. We out of 2014, best 70 something pen and ne yare ni bi. Enti hundreds of yare na ya discover no. Nipa ne te Ghana ha ne de sign nipa into kwanda. So yare ne ne te. Are you getting me? And you testing no. Me ti ye kwadwo opon kroma. Or say we've been ahead of the virus. Utie payosagida. We've been chasing after the virus. 2 ministers for information. Omokasa kura mfra. Kwadwo opon kroma de bia we've been ahead of the virus. And the payosagidate ya so te brofo no kan. Or say we've been chasing after the virus. Oh, me I am a good listener. Okobwa obete. Look, the point is that when you are only testing contacts or more money amount for yankita, you cannot be celebrating that. And I want to mean say what testing nipa, and that was the point I was making. Yeah. What testing nipa 86,000. Sierra Leone are testing nipa 1,000. Into why are they changing Sierra Leone? That argument is jaundiced. You know why? Sierra Leone, omote say yare na ban. And omo man penny etoto omo bodesimo. And omo close to omo airport. And for a long time, Sierra Leone na yare no krebi ni ho. Same with Gambia.
Okay.
Until now, me no kase yare 2014 in Sierra Leone. Only 20 something cases.
It could be said they are not testing.
No. Yare no. So one test cry. At least 14 days. Hospital.
Well.
But Sierra Leone, it is a fact, say. Time I Ghana, ye man penny, ye yare ne be wiase a. Ama man to obobo desmo. Ah man penny kufuado de. Oso no de obekwa bruchire tutu kwan. Into oko Europe tour.
No, Europe tour.
Yes, oko Europe tour.
We say no what a planned trip dada.
Yes, at the time na yare na ba ekum nipa wo China. Oh tie. Europe tour.
For Norway, and call Germany.
Na ni nyina Europe. It was an Europe tour. That was how the trip was termed.
Countries
are we in Europe.
2 countries spend okoy.
Oh dear, yem for 2 countries no okoy no. Okoy all banu no de yare ne bai.
Hey, Savage focus o.
Oh, Vim lady, the first person. Who is the first person who nya coronavirus in Ghana?
Minim Norway papa no.
Norway ambassador.
Enti President Kufuor na ne bai.
But President Kufuor one kasa what na call Norway. Check the pictures. Call Norway.
Yes.
Only Norway ambassador to Ghana na call.
There's no
papa no na ni di animu. Are you challenging me on that? Should I bring you pictures and everything? Yes. And no mu tu kwan bai no. Ye hu say Norway ambassador no. When ya yare ni bi.
But President buy and ambassador neighbor.
Yes. But I am going to
yeah, but
so it was through that trip. Make enya go kra na emi focus nyanto
boase. President buy na trip. On in the delegation buy. And sana no way President Eba.
Yes. But no but President ko no no way ambassador na ko no way.
Fine.
President won no way. One na dey dey chacha.
Yes, but
no way ambassador no nya yare no way.
But you see, no, we don't know. We don't know. Some maybe are not picking in transit.
Hey, Okay.
Because
Mami can say let me put it in the right context.
Because
let me put it in a fair context. Me say
record the chese Kufuor na dey ya. Me we Kufuor na delegation obi attest.
Me say the first person nipa mienu dey can test positive. Official statement free aban ho buy no say two persons no. Baako ye a high official of the Norwegian ambassador embassy in Ghana. Ye clear we now know say it was the Norway ambassador. Ye nim say Norway ambassador na control 2 year ansa na wonya yare no. Ya control ni o manpanyi to call ni krom no.
Which o manpanyi baja no.
Yes, actually no buy. That is a fact. Emma na wonim say wo yare ni bi. Emma na to party man emma. I call GIS ni others. You know this issue. Emma no kra me ye close to schools ni. Yeah. To what the yare abeto yen so. They said the oka no so for penyi that God knows wakasa. O say mo de yare ne ba wie ye mpo no. Mo a emre bi atwa mo ka say o ma penyi yare ne ba ye. Oh, tie Ghana 40 de make na. Na me che say. O so for penyi that God knows say obo abai express. Monto ko e kan say terminatory mu. Monto ye borders mu afia me boa. Monto mu na yare amanfo de beba o mayi mu. Samre no man penyi Kufuor so ko 6 match okumase. Na wa fan ho ko 6 match oba no wakọ airport o se o bibia de na kwam kama yetete ya na yare ne ba ye mienu o mampanyi beto bodamu ana o se mintum na yare na koso papa itnasia ma yare ne twam 20 ansa na oto bodamu na wo de yare ya
no rely on data.
Yes,
or pay data.
Yes, ti yare ne ntre ansa na watum ena sa time na ansa na ye betum no 10 days no amanfo afi free abrochire amamman bebre so afia so onim sa ababe wura Ghana omo na de yare ne sane no but enu po de men ka za me de sobo bi ebo omampanyi
okay
enya aba na sa awie wonso ni nipa ye wo se nyina ye den ye boa ti president Mahama o se me de ye PPs me de boa health workers me we aduane for 20,000 households me de boa ye nyina ye de boa ye yi amanyosem de ato nchen me sa asem a me ka ne han ikura me kan go radio so da bibi na akwakotwe den sa no we asem ye yare ne ba ye bibi na akwakotwe aba na wo de yare aba to bodamu na to airport mu at the right time one to problem ya increase to this level partial lockdown wa we me observe 1 week more or 2 weeks more to bring our positive cases down.
Okay.
And also see new register where everywhere.
Na ben no ka say new register.
Paper on the 17th of April they may send this letter. Isi for tre krata. Edema omajuma yefo a ewo Ghana he nyina se. Omomra pram ewo here ni go pram Sam George. Na omomra hotel a your friend City Escape Hotel.
City Escape.
24th to 29th of this month. No mo meye meeting on new system or easy for what to say or more new register. Letter no, in fact it is a memo from the director training to regional directors and deputy regional directors. Date 17th April 2020. Subject National Planning Meeting and key trainers training on the 2020 voter registration exercise.
Letter no president Kufuor na choe.
Easy for mekaba. Na unim se pram. Lockdown area. So to say.
Yes.
Lockdown wo ho. Untimi nkoye meeting wo pram. Easy for omonye exempted from the lockdown because omonye essential services. Into omo mampanyi ma omo exemption omo nka ho.
Yes.
Into ye dey na mbra lockdown wo ho. Dey na easy for nimu ntia. Omutimi fixing meeting. But
can let money
Omutimi fixing meeting to train people on how, the new system for the new register. In a lockdown area at the time the lockdown was still in force. Okay, the point I'm making is Omampenyi catch them them say may you lockdown now. Let me read it to you. This is the letter. They say asemwe ni dance here no. You trafane the dance it memuno udobienti. There will be a national planning meeting and key trainers training workshop at City Escape Hotel, Pram, in the Greater Accra region on the 24th to 29th of April 2020 to prepare and plan for the forthcoming registration of voter exercise. Registration, dream nipa kwa hono. President Mahama eche PPs, President Mahama eche aduane no. Isi for the almost new voters register no. Omo kwa ye hu training. Ewo baby a lockdown wo ho enti etiambra to do training. Says date no boy na lockdown you left it. But the memo is dated 17th April 2020.
Okay.
Near our lockdown.
Okay.
And me say, Unya who drift. Dear Nana,
the answer may be there.
Say meeting between 24th to 29th. Say, baby, a lockdown. I war lockdown Meremuno. Omo meeting on new register. Because they had information from President Akufo-Addo say you be free by this time. On
the same page.
The meeting will be attended by the commissioners. That's paragraph 2.
Okay.
Headquarters directors, regional directors, deputy regional directors, deputy headquarters directors, and some headquarters senior officers. And each batch will have 2 meetings. Please find attached blah blah blah. Okay. So this is a meeting. Easy for senior amount for say be new register.
The Oman can almost meeting in batches.
Almost in batches.
In batches.
No. In lockdown areas, no. To me, P. Abonte cry.
President, see a bit me a
hey, lockdown, there be. And when
25.
No, hold on. So when the lockdown will be ube to me agada, ube to me P. Abonte. But to me, in your public gathering, I am with people in attendance more than 25. And the lockdown, you can't go out.
Oh, the lockdown, what reason they are betting me out?
No, you're the only reason I exempted the fear. You know this. My the only reason I say walk hospital and you can't.
But a year oh,
Sammy. What the boy mami oh challenge me. What the nyanto was here? Eviana for when you so mami kai.
Private funeral.
No. Mami kai. And we before lockdown. See me. Under lockdown no. To me kra. The only reason I wait me pie say we a journalist. We a health worker who belong to the executive arm of government. And now we an ordinary citizen who call banking services. And now say who call to aduane. Something I say. Sa aduane banking services essential services and non president exempted for lockdown areas. In the lockdown area, we need to call a meeting.
But wait me as long as mobile observing.
Why not? Okay, why not say at the lockdown area? Why they call a meeting? It is not true.
That is my understanding.
No, you check.
Even in
that was never the case.
As long as more than
that is 25. Where there is no lockdown. Into a meeting, a press conference, but you keep the number as much as possible below 25.
Yes.
So what I say.
Yes.
That is where there is no lockdown. When you do lockdown, it means that you can't go out to even work. What will you
fine, but even
now, man, for me, and you think I can more, you be at war. Now we'll go bishop.
Even when the lockdown was on, now grandma,
that would have been an anomaly. It will depend on the shops and what those shops buy. But say every shop would then
ShopRite was working.
Then you ShopRite you can say omoton in groceries. So what you are saying because food was exempted. But say a shop a ton watch, for example, or perfume. That is what I'm talking about. Can perfume shop for us maybe say nipa 25 be room in lockdown you can't do that.
But I mean say data omo year letter need data omo year meeting was after the
yes. It me just as a 17th April na lockdown wo pram.
Okay.
Timi yo. Inti aye dan inti wuntimi nkoye meeting wo pram hotel. In fact, on call for no mobile meeting, come we free other countries now, other areas.
Okay.
Because they are not exempted.
Okay.
Into DNA mouse how to swan our buku hotels over the meeting. If they didn't know, say the lockdown will be lifted.
Okay.
And what the local tone change miniaba. What the mark my words. Enche aban we beba. Social gathering advisory no. Oba be relaxing. You aimed at one thing. Pave the way for the EC to do a new register at all costs.
How do you know
that? The same way I say President Akufo-Addo is capable of anything. The same way Mama evidence, Mama letter.
The letter is not enough.
The same way
it's not admissible.
Mami make it this pointy. The same way na yare we aba na nipa nan ahwere omonkwa. Na nipa bro oha enya bi. Na still in fact no munya ndru oha ba na nipa bebre enya bi. Na still NIA for Kenneth ase chinchina chin obeye Ghana card wo Eastern region no. I am telling you so oba be who the West Jimensa ni easy for beka so obeye new register. Enche yentwen.
Ombeka so obeye new register.
Dia me kan nyina na say me nua ba dia
before I call lockdown na yare we beba say na yenim say easy voters register the na beba ana.
Easy for decide. Now easy for decide so obey. No, but the point is you are not getting my point. The make can say. Yeah, here we answer ya the fata. Yeah, yama obi ehun your position we against the new voters register and we will fight it through every legal means.
Okay.
There was here court demonstrations here be easy for such change na chomo do obey new register. No problem. The point I'm making is say enya time wa yare aba ekum nipa. Na yare no nipa more than 1,000 enya bi. Yen the number 1 country in West Africa you want more. Now still, you want 18,000 people. I hear almost test, almost results in Pumai. Now, sir, nipa 18,000. Also, any afu frost will have contacts. Ni yenyan reverse have from you. This is not the time. Okase me kwa kwa voters register.
Okay.
This is not the time. I was say Jimensa Puka say or kwa yes a meeting we. This is not the time.
What if meeting number so cry? What?
Omo kwa now Omaka say what if now if now the baby say me question.
There be say una wo kan o. Na so omo cancel meeting no chine ya obeden.
It's almost cancel. No was am or damn invite me. Omo cancel am or damn invite me.
What if omo meeting no kwa by Zoom?
What if you mean you about when you say you
fan? And school for cry here university lectures by virtual.
Who the be better so na me say meeting beba so who the be better so.
Meeting beba so. And I am better.
The president has told them I need a new voters register. I'm lifting this lockdown for you because then yes sir. Oman penia or say
no catch you say I need a voters register.
Oman penia or say me the partial lockdown waba se na be ya yare e wo man ni mu no etre na sign ni pa bebre no me de be so ano me chi yare na gina ho ama yare no kra na ye den abafo yare na free 4 regions and do 10 regions and free 137 cases 2042 nipa akuma mo free 4 to 9 na sa the same president naba 3 weeks after say me yi lockdown na free e mura be nti ase so he has a hidden agenda.
How or see we review data ne chase.
Yeah, this is what I will say here. Let me make this very important. In concluding, let me make this very important point. You see,
say the president
leaders. Vim, I make a baby. Oh,
until I may ask a question, no, because you haven't been able to give us the evidence. Just the president catch easy say, I need a new voters register. Therefore, they should do it because that is to presume that. Sabi Jimensa and commissioners ni omo empty konko. Unless the president takes for them.
Na maybe you so empty konko, but unim say Jimensa, boss manasare ni mpenyu fo nyina. O man penye ku for agenda, o man penye ku for do power.
Nti mo de electoral commission Charlotte o say ne commissioners buy no. Na ya mo na mo share dade o buy ya.
Charlotte say wa ma me new voters register. Eso ni faso na any justification bi ama president Mahama. Or the register yede to about 2008 Emma Professor Mills win 2012 Emma President Mahama win and one of the be in Juma. No the be in Juma 2012.
Okay.
And it can say 2016. Charlotte say one say Charlotte say yeah referendum ukrum ha. Charlotte say campaign Emma NDC. They said the boss Manasare in the referendum on whether or not to make assemblies partisan or campaigning for yes. I was 3FM. I have the video.
It was just a friend's a sample. Electoral Commission for a print out for education.
I have NCC this video here. Or no one can you can Google. Arguments for no vote. We tear arguments for yes vote. On the free say yes vote to the Tasumo.
But then no campaign he can.
Oh, so it is Charlotte say. Enna. Yeah, to about on a particular issue. And NDC for say ye pay and MPP for so pay yes. And as Charlotte say ni support to NDC on no voter. Ka president ka MPP for Bekade.
Well, maybe they would have complained, but that, it doesn't mean say sabi Charlotte so to any school our
Charlotte say one year interview. Radio station be as one can say a political party like NDC. Yeah, a threat to Ghana's democracy. The boss Manasare or Cancer on City News. Eyewitness and also be challenging.
Say NDC a threat
to Ghana's democracy.
On one cast.
Yes.
But you don't have the voice here.
We have the voice.
But anyhow.
That's it. And you may have matters of public record. Go there check. Google the story. Google the story. It's in the studio. I say me the pen drive laptop and external drive. But you can fact check me. That is why there is something called fact checking.
Yeah, but
I must not carry an external and I just me the 1 terabyte.
Fabra.
You can fact check Mrs. C or Dame or Tiwe ni phone ye kitani. iPhone say 11 say DNB on check is NDC a threat to Ghana's democracy. Isaac Owusu who interview okayfm. It is true. On the bonnet team kuno. Me Sami Jenfimi baby has me trying to put that.
Hey, Sami.
Afia, then I want to make a very serious point. Because you see, the decisions, leaders are defined by the decisions they take. Leaders are defined. They are remembered for the decisions they take.
Yeah.
Omampenye Kufuado, I can tell you, say, decision where I will take, maybe Baba will be known in Hopa.
So I left you lockdown.
You will regret it. Me bon pa say unyame be yen sentrene na wo prove NDC for wrong na ye be ba ha biem one man time no ni akase o mampenye Kufuado decision to lift the partial lockdown no e den faso bre Ghana ama yare no kra ba form ke be ye me de pa because I don't want to be right on this matter because if yeah against partial lockdown if it turns out that we are right and indeed we are right as soon as no it be serious
but some you say president on to me
pleasing and yet the thinking which went into that decision, whether that decision was well thought out, well considered, based on science and data like he promised, whether that decision is in the national interest or is in furtherance of a selfish parochial interest.
TUC for supported decision way, GMA supported decision way.
Now more
NDC for one more nyansa
na Professor Benkai and all the other experts and doctors who are talking
there be now which
Saturday anya one answer the Dr. Yansen kasa
that was Saturday
and on sister na adwen say lockdown na ya page and it makes health sense.
That's all can
also man penny say why because of social and economic reasons.
And they agree with that.
And he does and he's not saying say on health reasons there it makes sense. But I fear this is the point I want to make. I was like, I getting me off. Say eventually decision will turn out to be a good decision. Na ye timid my argue 3042. Eba for moi. Meshe fita akodo nyame ase na me best studio ha abebo mampenye Kufuado abaso se ne decision na o take here na ye in fact ada na me bakra opa amonye mechanics ya na mama me nante
enkofi
yes Benjamin fa samba fia se enam decision we so na yare ekosoro na nipa ba akokora hwere ne nkwa because of this reckless decision onyame be bisa sa nipa ni moja fi omampenye Kufuado na Ghana for mfa omampenye Kufuado bone nche no da for this decision he has taken. You see, he will be held responsible. Say eye papa wayade what take a decision Rwanda, Sierra Leone, UK, US, even advanced countries have not dreamt of, they've not even contemplated this decision. Omunpo advanced health systems. Omunpo still more lockdown.
But some of them say doctors are cases so. And yet then ebe kostro ansa na ba form. Inti dia esa enchie ya oni o mampeni tuoi. Say ekodu 2000 na ya lockdown there left no.
Baby I will
this is all the doctors I've spoken to. Ghana Medical Association for doctors say wa broach o munya ka say ebe kostro ansa na aba form. Inti so where you 1000 plus say e kostro kodu 1500 left no na ama na kosa.
Na meti make cassette.
Inti na mbuta say
timi eno na matena ha kirikiri mu na say yare no ekosora na wo ye adwuma e wo say wo ye e ba fom wa flatten okay e ba fom a utimi you lockdown free ho and yes Sami Jenfia will be the first person to step on the street but na ye ka say yare na ekosoro emu ni ti ase ba kokura sei e ma fom ba kokura sei eno mampenye Kufuado say ono de obeyi lockdown we free ho and America na omudi matem omudi ye nyina yatem say ye jokers ye nimhwe ye say ye amambofo ye mpega na fo ye enya sa sana pa yosagida betna haka ena omo kase omudi omadwi mu no yare no ma chinagina ho omudi decision to halt the spread of the virus no ma achieve meboa omo so omo achieve omo halt the spread of the virus afia enya sa no mo kan ti boy ne date to ho say what chire bi no see move from 1042 to 1500 na say nipa yes because they say why left partial lockdown from Accra uyo mampanyi so ntino nipa de omo ho ato asem so e no mapie enti sa afo no se nyame mfa sa ma o obi konya yare bi na nyame mfa sa ma ohwere ne nkwa why ne yam fa so bo ne mo no why ne yam fa ho ntansa mo no se esi ya o mampanyi Kufuor will take the credit anamebwa be se
anko yesu
ye ka se besi no nyame mfa sa ma de because even though yenim se besi no ye bo mpa ye se miracle besi but say miracle na nsi na nyame ansave ye na de yenim se as a natural consequence of president decision the besi ni se sia me say we should hold President Kufuor responsible. It's a decision that it will follow him for the rest of his life. The day maybe you be kai President Kufuor in history. You be kind for this decision and not free SHS. Mark it on the wall. He will regret it. That is how I see it. Maybe Professor Mijenfi. Because this decision, say you see you follow the science of this pandemic. You follow the behavior of this COVID-19. You follow your global trends of how this disease has panned out in other jurisdictions. This decision only portends danger and great doom for Ghana because it is not supported by science, research, or data. Your number ne kosoro. E was say your man penny buy Ghana for. I want you to hold there. Into Kumase ene kaswa Eastern region krano. First no many cases ni bi as at the time I hear lockdown. O menya 55.
Say yeah.
Into 55 ni ahwe mu so mo menya krobo. The menya krobo for ya mama lockdown. More other areas in this region mutimi ye mo life but monya careful with this. Na mo observe all the precautionary protocols. Kaswa mo cases no ebia this number. Ya hwehwe ma hu say sa cases ndo do na wo Kaswa Zongo example na me o enti Kaswa Zongo for mo lockdown baby ayare ni no mo betimi aye modwuma but restrictions we mu ni so en kan de ye number no ye ne wododo pa eko it's 1,000 and something ye wo mu more than 80% Nigeria. Yes enti no en kan de me partial lockdown no free wa enye ye enti mesre mo ye san so extended lockdown no na wotwe ba ko bi nka ho okay ebia na watwe ba ko yidie yen hyehye no ebetimi aso abapa ama ye cases ya every 137 year 2042 yi ebia abafom to bear 900 and 800 and 700 Ghana for say ebia du ho a ho de ye betumi ayeden at lockdown so okay the India for cry yen say lockdown no omu yi ni nkakra 2 weeks bia omu yi kakra no mahwe situation no ma yi kakra because amama ya omu yi omu lockdown prekope even when their cases decline no cases na start ekosoro nti
ebia na the same strategy na president person
say we yi ni bu we yi bi every obu
but ebia o person monitor be 3 days bi na 3 days
no I can't so monitor be 3 days
no o can monitor one some can
go but so monitor be 3 days as they say em say okura no your presidential address na we ya de a che o manpanyi because o manpanyi kan de wo kan a enka problem we nyina ma can na me dey fika ma
I make us
one ka 3 days ya we ye free ho
o see there will be close monitoring
say obey close monitoring it is who say yare ni bi akọ ba bia afi firefighting approach
yes
we afre fire service
say why
na yare no baby a wo uni
paso observe
the me say see nipa 1042 no wanya bi no nipa omo ni omo dinkita ho ana nipa 18000 nipa ya omo ma me fa 18000 nipa me bo nipa 18000 nipa omo so omo ya omo test na omo twen omo results no omo mpo no omo mpenya Kufuor ni baby omo
so omo nim enye contact
18000 omo
they know
omo way
I know they know where they've been to
me say no 18,000 cc and omo way
one app no kro omo koye no app no one of the things that is doing
now uni smartphone only obi anya contact down uni smartphone na uni my dear friend app
na say number na yetumi di ni GPS
yeah
senya smartphone
obi fiam no use obi phone kra woni bi nipa do say e was smartphones a mutumi use app me che say 18,000 no ye nim thousands of the unit no but that is it that be uni mo machira kwa mo wen abanya catch ometi akwa chiro
that's so kase omo
they are in their houses they are in their places of abode they be omo no mo
so Ghana be dragged
na me chere say the omo ya no ho uni cameras yomo so CCTV cameras yomo so
their movements can be tracked
how do you track it
so na say GPI to me track it A phone BGPRS name movie.
Jai, Mr.
Oh,
Ghana, you need to.
Oh, Sammy Devi, me got a Google keke.
But if you as a now who come in Zambia, are you saying say 18,000? Please, let's not even argue. Let's not argue over non-issues. I buy young countries or track your mumpu.
But okay, say or a aggressive contact tracing.
I know your contact tracing, and they make your contact tracing. Also, a traces our contacts nevi. The trim contact tracing. Why test nevi? I can't test results. But just what I say. And me say, on my test, there will be a fear. Or more try on test results. There will be any fear. Come, what's the cameras you almost want to Kufuado or when no TV so on the office, and I will be observed, will be tracking over here. BBS saying, don't deceive yourself. There is nothing like that, Vim lady. So, this is not the time one would it take this decision. My church remu, I've given all these parameters. My the espesaka. My examples of the economy in other countries. My World Health Organization conditions. My more who but I am see any so any baby and you do ye men who baby are. My explain say even enhanced testing it is not something we should pride ourselves.
Okay.
Because obi o mind be to say Sierra Leone. Wato ne border muntem, wato ne airport muntem. Yare a wenya ye kakra bi. Sa nkrofo no munya yare no. Se otimi identify o muntem a omo contacts e be few. Are you getting me? Me de yare abagana. Me de ba ye no yahume. Nti ya yimi afi nipa ni mu quarantine. Nti nipa meet me ni o madi nkita ho no. E be ye kakra bi. Nti sa country no. So we test nipa 1,000 pa. Untumi nka say we test 80,000, 86,000 ti why ade che no. On testing 86,000 because time na wo ya kwadro na wo te wa. O ma nipa 2 kwan to terminal 3 mu 1 2. Na ma nipa fra ma no ne betena Ghana 10 days. Ansa kwa na yewu say yare ni bi wa ha no. Na Sierra Leone no, o ma to o mo airport ni o mo bodamu dadada. Enti wo wa ma o mo de yare ne ba ye no. O ma tena ha wa yare han ya ma o mo de yare no. Eni nipa bebre di nkita ho. So you have more contacts to trace. They don't have more contacts to trace. Vim, are you getting me? There was a time I know your contact tracing 120. Time I know 2 cases.
Yeah.
There was a time I know 200. And then they do 86,000. Because we didn't identify or more no more yare any bintem. And the time I identify or more you test you more you who's or more positive, you know. Now miracle into money nipa bebre in your contacts.
But you can't blame the president for it, can you?
Who should be blamed for it?
Can you blame the president for the movement?
Now, me blame moving lady. When I want to need to close terminal 3.
Oh, ports now, okay.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to talk about. Or even so, want to book no more buy, and we can buy, no before
quarantine or more.
Yeah, quarantine or more. The problem when you
he's also saying he was acting on expert advice.
And I feel expert advice. No, experts bend the organ ha or can't say my own to bottom. That time, not Ghana Medical Association they were calling for a total lockdown. He tell me expert advice me.
Okay.
Me aba the man penye kufu adwaye no. Enye science. Ebia me nua bi ka me say oh ebia ye science. Na we dey political science. Enye biology ni microbiology we ni political science.
Okay.
Na edio how bebre yen. We are not saying what we are saying for cheap political goal scoring.
Okay.
Yare ba ye. Ya Afia mente say waboy abaso. Oh Papa John Mahama. But
I'm saying won't
yeah when you waboy abaso abedase.
Make I say more at least more fine your politics.
Because if you lifting of lockdown na me ni abira ye nyina ye kasa say you. I would say says I mean make kasa on radio so how many days?
And they say a directive from the EFN saying President Mama.
Yes, because Papa no. Yes. And there was who say Papa no or mine than akoma so. Hwe wiase afa na nyina.
Na just President Kufu Addo mine na akoma so.
Me say Ebola ba krom ha. Ebola ba krom ha.
Tie Dabi Sami.
Afia asema make akra ma me nkan. It is only them me beka.
But Sami tie. Quarantine, there was one Nigerian who went viral. Watch a video. She say, "Oh, Ghana can't see me now. I did 5-star hotel.
You hold on.
And then officials.
No, you are not getting me.
The way I Ghana
money. Baby, I make one. See me. Oma, me say we are seeing na opposition leader ben. And the one who say, "What PP is close to 1,000."
So e be
Don't do saying.
Omo no so mom dey but e bia ye bi.
E no mo che PP do do say.
Omo che.
Be say penidi ma me na e do do a wa che.
Yeah. Because
President Mahama tops all.
That was long before President Mahama started watching PP.
President Mahama PPs are watching. Emiani are watching interventions. The whole world opposition leader the NYB.
Oh, why are they?
Me say the whole world.
Yeah,
not even Biden of the United States of America.
No, Biden.
Yes. Accra. Otifia and kana ketuya kakra waje. One ne man ne nana no bedi. Titi ni mo remu disike yaba. To a more bag and for 20,000 households and one tinapa.
And for some of the campaign.
Campaign ben yade. Papa Edwani a watching.
Ma
MPP.
What the mistake is about.
See me John Mama there. Hey, don't try that with President Mahama. Then you don't know him. Edwani ne buy any impo so on for DC for. Enkoche. They said the president Akufo-Addo den the amani ministers say dey ma MPP pieces no. Edwani wo wakoma otu for opem so. I mean, mention 500 bucks. Otu for so che aduane or the NDC the MPP na beche.
There be na so otu for no che na de.
La traditional council wa mo be 200 bucks. Omo che aduane a wo the MPP the NDC na beche. Or the amana nanu matena kunwa. Any assembly members. It should let you know the difference between President Akufo-Addo and President Mahama.
It's one mun eche NDC there na no party.
You see, papa ya say nyina. Meningitis yare ekum nipa bro ha e wosire.
NDC stickers bon.
Omo mu no amo musika.
Sami the NDC channel no stickers bon.
Me who bisa? Chere me fa picture ba ko bre me. Oh. Na me twi nipa kora nim sesi e.
Oh, a party.
Sa de no airtime kra.
You logos
me say sa de no airtime kra. Who NDC ni bia wa yes picture fa bra.
Okay.
Me so we will condemn it.
Okay.
Ebia na parliamentary candidate bi otini baby. But I no problem you condemn it. And yes am we na obeche relief item do picture akobo.
Okay.
Yente se MPP fo a Boniface. O se ono de bibia come at a cost into ono ntimi ma obi aduane ni abra the picture mo ho.
Na lawyer
ye green nipa ho.
Lawyer have you so ono so ne de bo.
No.
Ono so kwache.
Egyaso so ma sticker bia.
Kwache Veronica Bucket
ono
so ne de.
Na fa picture bra ko social media.
Any ho. Yeah, campaign.
Any ho, me say any ho.
Nti MPP for pen on the campaign.
Look, President Mahama. Hwe ono wo ati akonwa so. Ebola bae. Bibre mu ha nyina ekum nipa. Bia na etiefo. Ebola ekum nipa chen yare we. In Africa, kum nipa sa fatality rate no.
Ebola na wo so onya physical contact.
No, Ebola yare no. Hu chen coronavirus. Ebola the fatality rate na ye over 8%.
Ba ye na nyankopon ase nyankopon no wa mebi ama.
Mr. Nyame na mebi ama. But osoro boa de oboa ne ho. Se President Mahama di agro te se de o mampanya Akufo-Addo ye na ka Ebola bae.
No mampanya Akufo-Addo.
Samre no efia tie me. O mampanya Akufo-Addo no wo position te se de John Mahama wo position ya. Oko Twitter. Ono de wanche PPs. O wanche biane. Wan fa susu ye bia mpo ama. O se on tia se se President Mahama apene so se yemfa Ebola treatment center embassy Ghana. Okay. Awa Adom FM. Aye adwuma we ache vim lady. Enti se o ka che Ghana fo nyina se President Mahama ye na Ebola ba Ghana. Ma yemfa President Mahama bo ne nche ne da.
Nenye bia na okay.
O san so kan to me ba o. No, enye bi na make no difference no. Ampampa President Mahama ye ne hyehye ye pa. Ebola magana.
Nyankopon na ye ne bia ma.
Yes, why ye? But President Mahama so osoro boa de oboa ne ho. Pepa cho me ba o. O ma penye Akufo-Addo betina so President Mahama on ka sada. On ka se nana. Tama yare ba ni senka oko Europe to. On ka se nana. Tama yare ba na wo senka wo to boda mu ntem ne tem na se. E ya sofo mpo na ye den e ka. E ya sofo mpo na e ka. President Mahama a your opposition leader kra nko no ko obebo aban na chi no onka
na say wo nya kan
oba abontin bia o se de o mampanyi Akufo-Addo waka no ye moa no nye o mampanyi declare fasting President Mahama ye statement ka say ye nyina ye nye fasting ni bi. That is how patriotic the man is. O my da papa na koma so na ye we nyina de boa businesses donate 1 million Ghana the million we obi adeboa who the voters register na odwen ho
eno president
won ko na wo interest
on kan voters register
o person we voters register minu aba mayare na mra from now the koyo voters register na yeso yen koyo demonstration na yeso yen koyo court na yen fancy ani.
Okay,
there is time for everything.
But by the way, president and cast your voters register.
I am telling you that is what they are doing.
But when I will claim you without evidence.
You rasamuku joto. You see, if you have been in this political game for a while, we are not novice. We've been in and out of power. The NDC has been around for a long time. We know how this game works. Obi abeseti agenda. Even when ni enya more cases, no. Some could to beseti agenda. Be true kites. Or be test waters. Or say lockdown. No create baby ane. Into easy phone co areas are locked down. In no monko new register. One thing. Or be can MPP communicators and support no.
Na president support no.
That is your position. Now it will be president and gasa be cancer. So you dey wait. Me say, some no one the tikromu. Just wait for 1 or 2 weeks. Now ready be see. Then you will see how selfish President Akufo-Addo and the New Patriotic Party are.
Okay.
Ube who say omai no nipa kwa hu hia womo. E your votes hu hia womo. Ube who say omodi omai da che to chacha omai nipa pomu din nipa kwa to chacha, you will see it.
According to you.
Intermediate the medibe twa to your futu sem. If ya left it partial lockdown. Otie mi enwumre ya enwin se yare na ba fom nti no mampanya left it lockdown. Ko yare no afei kura na ekosoro afei kura na ayi hu. Ti dia John Mahama ne NDC se men kan kire one se for our life e she wunsem.
Okay.
This president is not ready to protect you.
I don't am lock him down.
Because let me tell you something. Me free am ko she dem.
Lockdown no am
lock him down. O mampanya Akufo-Addo ne wo fa ase ga bi o kire da akumpo no so she dem o ye na dwuma from fie.
Sir.
Ne wo fa ase no.
Okay.
Ga bi o kire da ko. O so she fie.
Nti ono so live.
Eti me too for say we a young guy. So who ye nim say system ni mu ye tight. So who but I don't say come out jubilating and be having contact uko kromo you don't check yourself any other. Say one take his social etiquette ni seriously. Oh, see your hand under running water. Oh, use sanitizer. On touch when him rough ne de keka ho. Oh yes sir, you are safe.
Okay.
Now they all say you left a partial lockdown ti. Ubo sir. Me ti sebo na wo bonase because ahokere wo ho. Enya wo fault so because sika ye twama o mampanyi 280 million and can it is 8.8 trillion. They are not using it well to benefit you. Say ya or under lockdown or beton now high with you. So I can understand why you're jubilating. I am only pleading with you, say, Unkwa here John Mahama, Ukwa here or my Ghana, Unkwa here Sami Jenfini and DC4. Inti Yahwe ye.
Okay.
Udi Omanpenye Akufo-Addo we chia obedu dokroka because ono enya yare no eba form one ekosoro no hwe enya nipa nkwa ho no hwe ohwe new voters register new votes onyame sha
basa mi mami musa wasem e de na echese mo NDC kasa bebeba mo kasa nyina mo eye genuine na mo so enya amanyosem mo se pa yo se kasa
ya chese kasa mi kasa nyina no eye genuine se me ba yi mi nka se we no mampenye Akufo-Addo aye nti no yenkoto abama John Mahama me meye campaign wa mi din susu yaba even the lifting of the partial lockdown impono my suggestions as to how we could have done it gradually beboa makasa ahokyere ne wo ho so you balance the socio-economic interest with the health of the people onfra socio-economic issues ne pe ahokyere no pe na onto nipa no enkwa ne health de enye de entontwene because enkwa hu hia chen ahoto so what I say eti makasa experts like Professor Binka mu nyina ka say ki betumi aye ne kakra kasoa yenye targeted lockdowns Ashanti region yenye targeted lockdowns but Accra de yen tighten no for just 1 week and not 2 weeks bi ye hu say yare ne ba ni aye den ya ye say na amanfo ho be ye yefi wo say na be amanfo ho be hin ha but the sense ye we nyina aye den aba
okay
so it should let you know say
genuine
ni yomu a at the end of the day isusu ye say yare ba ye what is papa wuzu ankoma o MPP ni so wenya bi minimum MPP ni a na o ye MP a ne ba mo ni din but why na yare so ahwere ne nkwa minimum MPP fo bebre o meye de wenya bi sa so na NDC fo wenya bi yare no obi anu a o anu aduro obi anu a o ye insulated from it it is a me politics na me de ye se bi o de me ken so mampanyi Akufo-Addo ye na yetimi so yare na no a enya me maame ne me papa no me nua nketo a me nua a o tamale me nua no mo ko school enya masum na dwome me nua bi enya yare ne bia me ne mabusuafo se ye ni age ebe boa me or mess it up na yare no foforo so a Afia can you tell you obenya yare ne yare we Boris Johnson one of the most powerful leaders of the world UK Prime Minister ye ne sa akra kete hwe ni tini ho asa okra Humble dim yopo pie ba bonten. O say masa yare we men fa ni agro. Canada man penyire yare ne de neto. Nyame nko a. Brazil man penyi ne twetwerefo. Yare ne de neto. Nyame nko a. Masa ministers Buhari. Nigeria ni chief of staff otu ni for sika ni sika anya no nkwa.
Yeah, okay.
Away. Enti say yare ne ba form a NDC enokra na ma ye ho atoye ne yaba be ye politics yaba be ye campaign. We benefit.
Okay.
That is why ye nyina ye support wo mampenye Kufuado. Ode yare ba ye kra yenka. Wan to boda muntem ne kra yenka because ye pese be ye se ye bonechi. Ye dia ba nyina ye susuye ye che PP ye che aduane ye di susuye ba because won som ni nipa ye peni ye yo.
Okay.
But baby ye do there abana me yahu say omo politics no moye enti emra so e wo say ye ba bonten ye beka the better truth no e kire Ghana for
fine but I mean say o say ahase na mo kase en kofa Ghana for no mo China ne mra eno so beja tum say it was a bad advice and na ka mo de mo man penny say wow NDC bebre by minority in parliament mo kofa
ye wo nyema bi e wo say wo ti ase ye wo say NDC ye penyi mu bi akasa and ye wo say NDC as amanyoku.
Nti wo tie wo kasa for NDC and kasa for.
Me kasa for NDC because I'm the national communications
yes,
officer.
Nti obi so minority
no,
ranking member.
Me chechim. So no credit say your ranking member yes I call. It was not the main party. And nana me dey but it was your ranking member and some of our members of parliament.
It doesn't represent the party.
Now suggestion no mo ye no. Bibi anyway chere say na bad advice. Unim di ntia. Because China na yare na si wo ho yes yon kofa Ghana for free ho sa Ghana for no mo hyeden tie mi yo no mo hyeden omo even at that time na no mo yes suggestion na ye bie ye airport da ho ama China for omo didwa
Ghana for didwa ko China
ba Ghana ba ko de yare no ko obo ase because o ye minor okay. Okay, Anglo good.
Yeah, Anglo.
Or the far helicopter. E de call ya
I'm not sure so if China no buy here there, but meaning so
be no Chinese. Otu kwan no de buy ofink. Obedru nkran e no de helicopter na e call. The frequent. It was part of your imported cases.
Yeah.
So the point is say what is the essence say wo what the share e wo China suku nkoda. Yare ne buy no omu nibi e no mo hye dem. Say wo ka say wo kwa akofo omo aba ye be quarantine omo akwabe se ye de omo ye de beba ansa kwa no ba be dru no ye be ye omo test so ti ase udo mu be dru a te se de o close o airport omo ano ma ba nyina quarantine o mandatory no enko omo so ye de omo ba akogu hotel a quarantine omo a ye test upon test ansa ne am wakofie te se de ye gift anti mo no o ti ase
okay
so say ye timi quarantine nipa 1040 a omo firi ama no ne bae ye test upon test ehu se 70 pe na wo yare ni bi a omo ye yi omo afiri ni panimu ne ya mo amaka nyina kofia de na kire se nka se students 500 ene wo China ene ye de omo bae ene ye quarantine omo ne ye test ye no omo yare ni bi no kra ne ye de omo kugina nche na omo kofi enye the same thing.
What you say nka omo nyina wo bi a nka ye health system dia enyina ne na so papa
students no ko ye do say the irony is that wo se won kofa wade hye no we be airport at all and China for na nkasa eba
okay
so what is the essence in it am for free Europe ba ne ade but enu po de ye twam wo de ye mfa ne mpo say NDC we were wrong in making that advice. Let's even assume ye twam now ye nyina ye hwehwe ne say ye cases na akosoro akodu 2042 no ebeba form ananya sa na ye nyina ye pe na ka ebeda so ne say Ghana 93 recovered no you say 500 recovered na 1 week for Taiwan uni mansana Taiwan for ba yi omo partial lockdown for 36 days o man record one case.
Okay,
36 days o man record one case no say bia ye do die ye nya stability enti no ye free
okay
ye die die ade chi ade se nyina yare kwa na ekoso so ti ase enti di ye yom ni nyina ye pe
okay
so afia ye moa no kura bi wo ho a ne ka eden se bi minim se nya obia na tie mi anwumre a ebi wo pema sempa be obi wa na ni na same gemfi ye nya lockdown ne ye kwa bonti akopesika same gemfi sisi ye make kan se emre no so ye
for lifting
ka o manpanyi sika bebreba amrache bedwafo de ama no odi yen hye pama ye wo han ya nka ye ho be kire ye under lockdown kra ka ho kire no ebe ye kakra bi ye mfili ni sa eno so nti no nka 1 week extension bi won kan nka be acceptable or 2 weeks extension kra be acceptable but because abina faili na onye sika ye de ama no che aduane ama bi kra chi sika e me hiafo bi ya ba onim sa
ba so mo wo bi ye tell ka
ye wo bi che omo mu che sika no Rwanda che sika na Rwanda fo sika che sika COVID-19 yi ba ya ban we afa ho de nya
onya sika se no wonya
wonya $1 billion from IMF African countries do say na nya bi wonya $100 million from World Bank wonya $100 million from World Bank wonya President Mahama $200 million ebi echire kwa no all you sika ya de atu nchiri ma ho heritage fund kwa wampenya kufu adu fe nya no no
oya money
na se odi jano oya money do odi jano
na se Ghana sika
se Ghana sika no odi jano aban bi na eboabo ano e na odi to futum e na wampenya kufu adu ba ye no ye de eja no se onyusu mu aye nya
se sika no oyusu ana
odi enti se ka aban no ye san hihye pa aduani aye che e na lipi a wampenya kufu de ba ye bebe wo bi amechia no se ya mo ahiafo e bia lipi ehiafo a ye de hwe omo ye be 100,000 President Muhammad nsusu ye bai say den na ne ya ho kira be 100,000 leap no example ye fanko 200,000
okay
tisi ye mafie bia hiafo no already ye mo bia 500 Ghana a month aden na bia ye nya no say be ye 300 kra na 400 kra na ye ntrim
okay
so no bi so enya bibi kakra so many countries masa Dr. Congo DRC Congo for kra yesanya Zimbabwe
ba ye wosika
na mampenya kufu adotia onye adepapa bia nso waje fans san na oya announcement na onya nye no kra o social media for more for nana so MP omo se yemfa anye politics no for more for nana for meanwhile electricity bill kra so abete so no they say wasan so am carry forward or say ono an ka say be take effect April enteki o say enteki effect April ye betu ya de o de ko me
David o say ye be hunu May wanka say
vim open mechinyo o de my producers in control it was supposed to take effect for 3 months April May June they say what they free April May June or they call May June July it's April ye betu ya
sa no ka
so waje ho fan say we check just Google it
April but ye be hu e be reflect on your bills no in May
o check na de make na yampa next week ba na wa matiefu e true na make me say me nitro on radio me nya bi da host to me program me host school one host to me the ground say me can send be a dance here so give me the benefit of the doubt say the make no me na ejina bibi so it's been a fruitful discussion.
There been me busa this issue. There be so say President Kufuor aje fans e ho na atwema nya be say fans na oje ne ha wo no.
There be na so oje fans nyina ye yokom.
Okay.
Yes implementation e dey ehia because wo do another nwera bi ngo. E na say wo twa nka agusu ana onye dan, unsi dan. Ti say wo so be ma ye nkeni a 50% reduction. Enye nka de ehwe no togofu enya free. Ama ye free anka ye but wo say wo so na be 50 eja it's better than nothing. But until say e be take effect na me nua ya otie oba akoto ne power no one say na me to 50 units na me tua 100 Ghana and na me to 50 units no example na me you me give me 50 no
okay
ya fancy bia
okay
because ye kai any hwe kra na $1 million per constituency Pascala ye ni one village one dam Pascala ye ni one district one factory Pascala enti kasa nko yes enti kasa nko ena adwuma so nya den nko yes wo de wano aka no kwaye omampanyi Mahama abo na baso ideas ni bebre kwa wa omampanyi Mahama na de sansusu ye ne ye den ba yes wo ya de yes wetie yen but implementation na ye den here but omodi no omodi campaign ebi wo kra say the president Akufo Addo aye ma Ghana for die aye say president Mahama won't be nye president biem aje so kofa coronavirus aduro ba ne omokakra ye mfi because je de oman no da yakoma so yare ne ye pese ye den ye so ano I'm saying all these things to let you know say enya politics. So me say yes, the assembly be politics ah. Ene kenye NDC technical team nanka. E be press release o.
Sir.
Ke sami jemfi na be press conference. Hwe say ye opposition party. See person you take political advantage. We have political communicators. I'm the communication officer. We have a general secretary. Be Drew baby no. O man penyi Mahama say Debbie.
Munyai.
men pesa de we be NDC CMPP CC ye wa doctor for ye wo say disaster management experts surgeons it be a former officials of Ghana Medical Association me de omo be boom a former technical team. Dr. Jehuapia, former Secretary General of Ghana Medical Association, Kahubi. What your members no almost CVs? Professor Margaret Koku, or your professor in epidemiology. Professors, doctors, or say mediomo basame jenfi. Only General Mosquito, party in Penyufo. Mo hangi mu boot kakra. Na mama especi. Or mo lead advocacy in nchirechire no. Or mo nebetumi aye education. So or mo nebetumi de more suggestions aba no kra betimi afamu aba so mo na aban so opem wa betimi akobo aban no nti your regular communicators kra no your core background kakra and yes technical experts in leading party ben the person score political points obi use this communication approach so what is your experts in Kaza? Do you see them even criticizing government? 90% of the time they are commending government, they are making suggestions. Yama aban we document and yes they are not kakeke yama aban we alternative solutions ye yensusu ya ye express free say on my Ghana dey adwuma bebo ano yama omu 2 documents mabenya kufu ado opposition ibola bae paper ye de chechire awie sukura o ma president Mahama bi no te Twitter and no te mano o ma yare ba ha ye mfa nche se sa nyame o mpe bone Mahama nyame yare yamba wa yare ha ma yare na ba time we say wo to border na airport mpo yesi ye mo chi ye de be chew wo de manage yare na yare ye free so nko echira asem de ye be den ye be ka ana afia meboa yare ni free so wi a fe de ye be ka echira asem lockdown so and also so wo de ye politics wo de ye komsi komsa wo de nipa nkwan be di agro ye kan ya kabone so we are not against obi freedom, we are not against obi nkwa ye na djuma. Ye senka ye betumi aye nkakra and ye say even the omampenya kufuadu aye because say enye based on science, because it's not based on expert advice, because it's not based on health considerations. Emma weni nyi brebre MP piles agide de obenya o ka obi a jubilate MPP foi oba education kra wanyi bi asori ko
kwa another
omo so omo nya politics no omo kasa omo no ya sami jemfi o joka no ye kawe o se de obi me pese see the pomposity ya e opposition ye bakra na ye suggestions na ya san so kra ye education aka ho masa ya de we obi aya at risk o di ye yom ne ye pe enti Afia
sami me da se
muntie bi na wo so me pese me te nka ene de sami jemfi no wa ma me platform ma be kasa
ene he
because o ka kasa e maybe ye nye bone kra be nye bi maybe ye nye bone kra wo be ye ya na nye asem ketwa beja minu aba me te ye maybe o to bomb bi mi refi
da bomb be no
bomb ba kese bi se ndisi aye bibi me te pa be a big issue
be
but man sheda nka ho asem but lockdown ya o man penye ye fiwe minim se wo ye o ne o producers wo ye more research e wo se wo so wo ba ne e te lady e te nka
enso
maybe one gaza no e wo se ye te nka because you see mama ka bibi ncho bibi ba and this is a very serious issue Afia Edmond Beck on the cast and be say the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. The ama bone edoso no enya se bone ana nipa bone sem no e wa hoden chen papa o but se nipa papa ka o mo no tum no mo nkasa
na yan kasa e
me who post to be last week many jay because na me kasa na say MPP for trend on MPP for social media guys yeah omo you so intolerant I just say one boy aban we actually they come after you leader force and complaining so many people including journalists you did what them this year yet these were the same people are not support to omo criticize President Mahama and because say omo tata muninti no bebre nipa bebre na President Mahama bre so omo ye very vociferous critical ye ti omo nka no some meba some say the bebre hu abo omo mate akoda
dey me kasa dada
nti vim mayen ti nka yi because baby o man ne kono eni se mu jaima MPP ni NDC nko a COVID-19 is... Yes, no, we want to hear experts at the same time, journalists at the same time, churches at the same time, traditional authorities, because it is a national crisis. No. You see, we made progress. What I'm trying to say is that even if NDC will attack you, even if NPP will attack you, let us hear your voice. Because for example, me Penny, Dr. Yankson, you know, I like him, so I admire him. You see. You share on platforms. Now me share Dr. Yankson pa why you interview memenda with Vim Lady. Ene unuya ba ya wasem pay. O say lockdown he dey merenso say ye free.
He's one person.
Na Jordan. He belongs no, and ekra ye bisa me kan wasem ni dem make ye bisa no was. Na Jordan ko meeting ba nye bisa say na ofo aso na o so ye dey yanka say ofo aso na mum ye be bo mampanyi. Na say also ne ye bisa na say na say memenda o kan say obi na bisa na question memenda ya o kan say lockdown ne dey merenso say was ye dey asembeba. Osi we no ne de semchoni ne bisa me say me expectation yes and I me can me expectation and yes na and now expectation yes osi we be bo man penyi
think on can say
you see lot of people have been cowered into silence.
Oh Sammy
no me ye general me mo be me say a lot of people are making dangerous compromises. A lot of good people who know the truth and who are supposed to speak
don't force people also to think to say the whole
jail. No, I'm making. This is my humble opinion. Me say a lot of people.
Sami, yeah. To say me so I no.
Hey, it is a Sami Jenfine can say me that. And I draw that question. Reason behind my na master man no anti ka be over defending say.
No, sisa no.
It ka be there be yourself support. You see, me can say my sister na no ti o.
Say but support
and ultimately cannot ni position.
Hey.
Why was he bold enough to state his position on Saturday? By Monday, the ultimately can position be.
President Abekasa.
Then nana omo for total lockdown on the basis of science, on the basis of data, on the basis of health considerations. The point is don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Me make this statement.
They disagree with the group and Kebelde.
Because doctors
disagree with the group position.
No, I'm even talking about the group in it, the group
GMF.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Say, support the lockdown. They are not supporting the lockdown. Say scientifically, it makes sense. They are saying, "So, I'm explaining maybe the economic and social implications."
Thing to do.
But this is not the time, and that is the point I make. This is not the time for diplomacy.
Okay.
This is the time for hard truth.
Okay, but
this is a moment of truth. Your program na no.
Moment.
Enti akukodro no omudi Kenya ye na no mo de kasa no ye be sere omu maintain my.
Okay.
Now omu say oh ye need to ye be bo ye nyina ye boa, but sometimes the way to help is to criticize.
Okay.
Sometimes the way to help is to say the truth as it is.
So
I am only appealing say professional bodies other neutral in quotes voices. This is the time to speak up. Ebinum slow wokoka NDC MPP for Flagstaff House boys here. Omo call office omo Samuel Brian Boaben Nana Hess you fake news no mass spread. They will come and insult you. But Obama then some microphone. They will come and insult you. But say no kra na woka. Na dia woka no ebe boa o my Ghana. Afia you will not be worried about that. Enti me da se me free say at least and then komo ayedi etie for befa ba be free. The message is clear. Partial lockdown na mre no so ye.
Okay.
The amount man penye ye free ho no e politics and science. Enti for our life show nsem na ya hwe ye.
Okay.
Because the die nim no onyame nkwa ne nim. Onyame sha.
Sami mame no ase bebre. Ye nua be ma Sami Jefi, Director of Communications. Emma NDC Amanyoko ne na twetwe nkomo no say your life is in your hands. Nti wa protect and say the open. But messages in be amodi aba ruin bill. What's even lady cry po there. I pity her po. Every day they side a different political party for her. Say and now we NDC, watch now we MPP. Oh, Vim lady Kafra. Na Francis Edu there also otie ɛna akasanoma no say ensem wo ebi wo hopa yaw de ebinum kra de adane atem didie mpacho de atenie ba I will not be the one to read it for you. What I say. And opoku someone no sister if you snub this samije if you what and fiko owusu se samije video you too much. Asem no kra no a na waka no. Sa BGH no se mu de munya ebinum no mu didi atem o de atenie ba na maka no. Men kan ma obi aye obi nua obi papa why a friend saying Sandomi Entwibosi akosivim lady is clearly an NDC person. Look at how she softly allowed samije say obe kasa said your pay but MPP ni a enko digirigiri e na etata na question yo William Asai no say NDC de bia mudi na nado atem enso mo akra na nka ye total lockdown kra nka mbesa kasa etia just che anim no say efia you just admire this young man samije feeling eloquent and na no atie no and akrija numbe or say this guy will never talk asem papa de bia with the politics Obin Gabriel no see dia iba Professor Mills entini na omuka e de ama Mahama se Mahama na diska no e de ba Professor Mills ni ho nti saa na mbeka no e na odeche Youngzy was it him lady this show is for NDC pa please be fair as what the ama NDC for nko you mate yesu dia nanaba was it samije video with all due respect usu nyankopon ana innocent oboy akon was NDC people there patapanko and omoye nana ya Japan was it why is this only one person patrono moye mienu deputy minister Pius enam hagide ene samije finene omo ebaye and Asante Gabriel say samije fide won kano crow ade ni nyina wa be chia no Obin Gabriel say stop the propaganda Spain hanum say pa omo shada ni sa case na wo samije futi studio hono ma wo kano Halal is a Michael Australia visa connection man. Samije via some na woka no ana. Nana ya we Japan maka message na Van Dalen and the Hill no say forget this guy. Samije video de bia say ya no kan. Obaso no aba be didi attempt jano entie no. Was it good evening madam please. Do we know the number of people who have worked for the EC district assembly election besi ne ase yentwia o mo na ana. Boss no nye ene topic for discussion ti mekom ama later on Lee Ajaye no say vim me hwe live na I love the discussion oni samije mfini Pius enam hagide na ye me ya say Pius call baby foforo entem kenya sa anka question sa samije fi ba so oda o so avi nyina na ka wenya kwan ata ni nyina na chese ye hu baby a ensemnity Apia Dominic say why is NDC always displaying double standard aden ena omo etisa ena Linda Opoku no say thank you pa Peter England was say disease way nim politics o into why your politician why you say all the tro ena ababedi a edru wono ma wankasa obetepa obeti nsempa ekoso ewo mayim ntro na enkofo bia wo madwene say hom de entro no enu mbedie no mo a ombehu we enya de ye amanyosem honorable Ahariga Francis no say it's loud and clear ewo West Legon samije fi you do all na ye de Yetio pa nyakopon sha samije fi onu de no Lindo Opoku no say thank you pa na Apia Dominic Makan wo de na Godwin Amawujuro and no say samije fi you are great asem no kra no na aka wonso omuntumi unti de bi omba no ma shada bedidi watem Josie Kobi Ajiman no say me hwe mo live mo ene adwuma mo ye de asom Ghana ma Joel Akoto Junior was it next time for Canada Japan bra no me face samije fi na we de we small boy kra nya de obetime ahute e de ama obi antro kwa na obedie Kwame Japan no say I don't think you are the right person cry say ube hosti show we yo mate and I know be me boss we adwuma ma no Francis Banfo no say how can you bring such people to your studio Samije fi pu and Anthony Tano Kwao was say Samije fi was on point Augustus Nelson no say well done Samije fi na wakasa ama makoma to me yem and I said to Silfi eso wo hwe Eric Bedu was say Samije fi you are true pa ba form of nana you is the any hwe wi Ericos e wo fia pre no say fia you do a good job pa Ericos wo pray fia pre ahimfie Emmanuel Ebun Kofi no say Vim we dey your back good job Kweku Onga was say NDC bring a solution to mneja intro no Beaches Boatin no say Vim lady you are NDC woman pa everybody knows yo mate William Soya and was greetings free Dortmund and Amadema Afia na KwaZulu King or say we there konkonsan kon adwuma na samije fi abesna won ma waye Godfrey Mbra and was a good job guys mo ye adwuma pa Lindo Opoku no say UK borders were never closed etikache samije fi sa asema o kan nya no kre Peter England no say Sami has really talked well pa without politicizing the issue. Mo Sami uye juma some of your boys so hey and I had real faculty was even in Gambia they don't have any case but still lockdown ho Ghana pa. Lindo Poku no say lockdown will be lifted over here by 11th May in Ghana there yanku yanim. Right okay no say NDC is not an answer. And Kofi ambidextrous was one also share pa Marcus Baba General Advisor even lady Nyakopo Shana Roslyn Koko Adam Meza or say what the president did is very very bad pa where are there and also turn up pa no say cases in bad down here papa call the source no say samije video hey propaganda ni X-Man GH no say I love your show na Godfrey Dembra maka message na Daniel Nana ya wasari or say I can see that the president wants to use the money to buy Toyota virus after the dinner or the no Fuseni Salifu Kaswa Zongo and one also say keep it up Vim lady Michael Asai no say these people want to come again hey Ghana pa yeah mind this kwanya na ya so ya yare Langbani Franklin no say Sami Jefu too much wo anyansa papa you good communicator so epa Steven Enieje Junior and can say Abubakar Karamani Karami also God bless you Vim lady Lindo Poku no say Ghana measures no they took were better than UK cry UK there one more time I ran any adocraphobia Alasan said do not say but you don't read my messages so it's not fair and Juliana Belinda Lamte Obri no say or no you obiano we are Kingsley was a good evening vim na one more muti o nyina yakopon sha o nyina so Paul Anizim was kudos vim lady and I salute the ACM was a good job Sami Jefi give your free aqua or say we must be careful virus no dangerous enya de didi agro enti mo imagine say mu didi agro no yakopon ene bebusa mu nyina sa agro no aya mu de yare no edie no na Marie Amwakwa Bedu Buedu ewo London no se vim yakopon sha pa na adwuma mo ye isi ufi set say evim mehwe mo pa na na ba for Francis Edu Samo Yeboa Natana Apia mu nyina mo hwe Citizen Banks Kofi Oforiata Rachel Wusu Innocent Boy Akon Kofi Brakwa Samoa Okan Komla Isaac mu nyina ya damasese mo hwe de amai oba Kofi wose nsehunu se ya akwa na afia so se ya sa na ndisi beye na sa apia Kubi Bill Clinton no say yes o MC Ghanaians don't want the truth omo mpe no kre na ya Japan wose vim lady you do Okan Komla Isaac wose Germany kra no still omo lockdown Ghana there akasa no man say there's no contact tracing anywhere except Ghana I always say NDC for na omudi ntro no wo betimi aka asemi na obi ehun no kwasem ya ewo mu odi omo ye ne de enye ne kwan so kra wono ne de a wode aba eno no ena Linda Opoku Linda maka messages we Alasan said also maka message Ken Brobe was NDC there you are dead as a chinchine am pa ba betena konwa so nko yie mamo wahene ba kwadwo fosu no say nana K pillar 2 like Sami Jevi submission and then no by why are some NDC people against the lockdown he was interviewed by Kwame Nkrumah last week so sa enoka ya and Peter Saka was say very bad for the president pa me hear mo live was Spain esioba ya ataka so and was say them my enjoy we ni pa ne mum the American say ne ya president wa left ban Ghana for yen kwanyina kuta ye yo si edidi agra etoje yarara si ede ye adwuma so etoje yarara nti ye fanya adwuma se de ba mfa so beba so ede ama Ghana manemum ye di agro ne ye se COVID-19 no ene ye de ba be kokwasa de ene asempa ene ba beto ye ne ye nyina Ghana ena ye kanesa no enti ye hwe jima no was a great work vim enwumai mabo adwuma Francis Lamte was a good job pa na Sami Jemfi de don't cry Nicholas Ajima no say God bless Sami Jemfi ne adwuma wo ye de asom Ghana mine na kokonga kokoma kan wo de X-Man G8 no say MPP is the best it's one de obi abeka bia won ne nya adwene kra Daniel Nana ya wasare no say vim my question is who is going to use the rest of the COVID-19 funds kana aka no say president are lifting lockdown there kana aka no hwan ene ye de be ma no ana won chendi bi bebem enti ono so ne question a obusa no Daniel Nana ya Francis Lamte o si do my Sami krapia makan o message na Lindo Poku so makan o message Philip sie or say Kwadwo was a good talk and Paul Somia was the MPP youth no there the chance they should give the old man who after eating will sleep behind the table old man we have okay Kofi Ampe or say Ghanaians are not serious. Crowd or if France and or the boss Sami is on point. Alasan said to my account message when Sumaila Mahmoud was it don't joke with the virus. Ghana only or if UK and or the Lucy Achala was it so far. I give credit to all frontline workers or Moye Juma. Na Sami Jemfinya Kupon Shani Juma Oye na Yuba Osman was a great job him any Juma Oye Ken Broben or say Ken you are an NDC food digger. KwaZulu Ken. Also, what will happen to COVID-19 fund? KwaZulu mebusa question we amao. Ena Sakaman Papi. Also, I love you. Efia Kosona ye ejuma no great Nana Maza. One was say someone see me as a small boy, but Blue Lights Derek. I say I love Sami Jemfi pa. Tell him say one friend me pa. Na he said coming. Was he NDC? Anything the president will do is bad for them. Aden. Emmanuel Amo was him read my text. Pedro Essien was he NDC versus government official. 1 equals Airbus. Abubakar Latif was him lady good job pa from Italy. Nana will not lift the lockdown now. I was shocked pa so I lifted lockdown. Kwakwampa and was the intelligent man is Sami Jemfina John for sweet teaching. Was if him lady go on na yewa juma Francis Lamte Makan message Peter England Makan wodi no abeta boache dan kwa no say if you God bless you pa Haja for real Makan wodi na sedu alasa Makan wodi no so Edu Ashworth Bafo was say where is the money from USA George Jehu was say Sami is good too good. Idris Foley was a lockdown lifting party. It's a bad idea. Nicholas Ajima Makan Wudi and a Fahad Agbanyezi was a Sami JV is just too much. That him and Nasa for say God bless Nanado. Give him long life. Please, COVID-19 fund, no, it's not paid in the Ministry of Finance. Rather, it's paid into a special account into Munimwa. And Mustafa Hamid was him. I love you people. And Mami Krama was Ghanaians. Why lockdown? Trouble pa. Thomas Opoku say oh Italy or say you do a good job, Vim lady. And go the Mensa Odro or say I want to see how Sami will speak after 2021. NDC will lose again pa. Na ya or say Vim Holland started this coronavirus just 2 people and then Holland were over 33,405. Yeah bibi yo. Eric Diopam born or say Vim tell government not to play politics with this virus. Adiene Peter England Makan Wudi na Evans Otunfo say how much is left with the COVID-19 fund? Monche eni nyina yehu abeta aboache dan kwa no say Vim I love you from the UK. Thank you. Love excess or say God bless you Vim Pedro Essien Makan Wudi na KwaZulu so Makan Wudi Gabriel Fifi akwa say Vim ask yourself what does the EC commissioners know so as to schedule a meeting aden and on be bibi etisa Alberta boache dan kwa Makan also messages no enti adamu nyama say alawa paps was you are trying to say dead nana or what so you are referring to somebody enti I was for emphasis and say ni na say temo joining me a day program Egyaso Gyaso de ebremo ma me shedam fanchia ne arechiche sem kese e ma me nua be ma Abeku Santana eke wowo sa Abeku Santana ne papa ye nyina chese ya Abeku Santana na fofo ne ye boy ene ne papa a chese papa ne anim ti ne ade sa yete ya ne se ba mo wod na paka besi papa ya bobo anu a wabefa no e de ne konti Abeku Santana wowo shedin wate woni abusuafo ni nyina wo maame ene unuanom nyina mo shedin na ye nyina ye be wo honom e be boawo se de ba ye be people ni ase no suo e de ama abusuafo ase da kese enkoma production team ni nyina Yera Isaac also dio me ene Kojo Hansen ne Odame ene Frema mu nyina ye de mase yakopon ye adoma ye beto aso ama DJ Flash aba ode enyom papa na odi be kulu tumi se 10% o kan messages ni anko for the rise is serious mun kuli da o na covid no kra de chese ko for kra chele kra nti aboche wate e fa me Vim lady Afia Pokuaa bra obroni okayfm broni bra bebo nyimo ai amawi out time on okay broni se ma jeje oso me dey ateka me bo a okay broni boga 1 swagon papa Caribbean boga say ana still a wofu be me na 1,000 yes one I want for me bo a se ma more fans crowd producer crowd ja oja